this man sitting to my right said, I want to run a tournament, kind of a little bit flippantly on his stream, and months has passed, and here we are in a grand final of the $15,000 tournament with Oracle and Agony fighting to take first place. Hexy, what the hell were you thinking?
I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. Regrets now at this point. But, you know, I'm really glad it came together. I hope everyone's having a really good time watching. It's been very interesting for me, especially. And I'm assuming there's other people out there just watching a competitive environment where these teams are going at it. You know, a lot of people view this game as like a party game and whatever, and why take it so serious or whatever. But, you know, when people are going versus other players, there's always going to be a competition. And I don't know about you, but I love watching people compete in this sort of manner. They're going to try their very best. They're not just going to, you know, goof off and blah, blah, blah. They're really going to, you know, nose to the pavement, learn as much as they possibly can about the maps, learn as much as they can about perks, matchups. You're seeing these like different variations of builds with camaraderie coming out, which you never see in pub matches. So it's just been really a treat to watch. And it's been an honor to cast all these games. I'm really glad we did this. Don't quite know what I was thinking. It became a way bigger task than we expected, but thanks to you for co-hosting with me. Thanks to all the admins behind the scenes. You guys don't see how much work is going on. Thanks to Status Effects for producing all of this, all the overlays and everything that you see, and in game as well, all done by them. So we have an incredible team behind us. Not quite what I was expecting to come out of this. When I first said it, I was just like, oh, I'll just do a fun tournament and showcase good players, and I'll just kind of go over them and be like, blah, 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 blah. But it's actually been just a treat, and I've loved every moment of it. So I hope everyone is having a really good time tuning into this stream here and the best of the best tournament.
I certainly am, and I'm sure these players are as well. Let's show you the grand finalists of the best tournament. It is going to be Oracle and Agony taking on each other in a grand final series, another best of three to try and separate these two teams that seem almost inseparable. You can see their journey to the grand finals here on the standings today. It was, of course, the massive series of Oracle versus Agony in the first matchup of today, and honestly, a matchup that Agony potentially should have won. They were just 1 point of victory, and they made a decision to go back into the match, try and get an unhook on a survivor that they could have left there, and they would have had victory. But it was too difficult of a task to be able to count the hooks in the moment. They thought they needed just 4 men escape, and it brought Oracle back into the series. They were able to take the grand final. Now, due to the fact that Oracle has entered the grand final from the winner's bracket, they will have to be defeated twice here, Hexy. The double elimination means that Agony comes into the grand final having to win 2 best of 3s versus Oracle if they want to be crowned the best of the best, whereas Oracle will only have to do it once. You know what? I would love to just set these teams up. Let's go through the entire... you know what? Actually, that's fine. I was thinking we could go through the entire winner's bracket to show the story, but I mean, these teams kind of had a really simple one. I would just like to set up and get ready for this. The grand final here that is coming up against us. The maps have been rolled for the grand final best of 3 series here between Oracle and Agony. We are going to be heading to Ironworks of Misery for our first matchup here. Then heading to the Temple of Purgation, finalizing on Azeroth's resting place for this series. So a nice variety of maps there. Ironworks of Misery, we've actually already seen Agony play, I think it was Invincible Kittens on earlier on in the winner's bracket. So they have experience already in this tournament on that map.
Yeah, and I'm guessing we're gonna pretty much have a repeat of exactly what happened. I'm suspecting we'll see Nurse come out first, and then Spirit come out second, or Spirit come out first, and then Nurse come out second. These are going to be the ones that are picked. You know, in Oracle's shoes right now, you got to be feeling pretty good. They know they can take a loss and regroup themselves and come back in if they need to. Agony on the back foot, but you know, Agony has been playing very well. They've been very dominant, and they had the potential to beat out Oracle. So it's going to be neck and neck. Honestly, you couldn't ask for a closer competition for the finals here, because these two teams have been arguably the closest and most dominant throughout the tournament, which is why they're in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. And for this series, since Oracle come from the winners bracket, they get to choose whether or not they play Killer or Survivor first. Aaron has opted to play Killer first and is going to be bringing his nurse to the Ironworks of Misery. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him in match number 1 of this grand final best of 3. The teams loading into their lobby and just getting ready to go. What are you thinking? I mean, Aaron's nurse has been a little bit inconsistent today is probably the fairest statement.
Yeah, it has been a little bit inconsistent, so I'm curious how he'll adapt there. The nice thing about Ironworks of Misery is it's not as bad or as rough as some of the vision loss. The only real downside is that middle building sometimes can be a little bit difficult to blink around. If you somewhat mistime your blinks, you fall all the way down to the bottom. So look to see if the survivors try to take advantage of that somewhat, especially with some of the faulty blinks that Aaron was having in that first match today. Might have just needed to get some coffee or some energy in his system, some caffeine or something, because he has been gaming the rest of the tournament after that one. So it might have just been a wake-up call like, oh, man, I need to put my gamer shoes on and get ready to roll. So we'll see kind of how he does. But a lot of the other side of the map is somewhat open as far as vision. It should help him on the nurse. He'll be able to kind of move around. So we might see a completely different nurse coming out of Aaron as far as this one goes.
And I wonder if these teams will mirror each other with just the nurse, spirit, assume pyramid head, or if we will see some diversity in this one. Versus Invincible Kittens, Agony did choose to play spirit. Now, that may be because they picked Nurse in the first matchup earlier on versus Team Canapec. No, sorry, I don't think it was versus Team. It may have been. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was Team
Maybe
Canapec,
because of the killer. It was Team Canapec. So it may be because of that circumstance where the Nurse was locked out in the double elimination stage earlier on yesterday. Or maybe Spirit is the killer that Finger Guns feels most comfortable on that map. We will find out, I suppose, a little bit later on, because it is going to be Aaron playing the nurse first. And these two teams, they take their time, Hexy. They don't mess around when it comes to what they're going to bring into the match. I suspect right now, if you were able to listen into Agony's comms, they would be doing their best to come up with the most efficient survivor build across 4 survivors as possible. Keeping in mind that the survivors do have a perk lockout. They can only bring 2 of the same unique perk twice across the entire survivor roster, so they have to figure out which perks they want to do. Actually, as it works out, the reason that we're delayed is because the survivors were so eager to get into it, they forgot spectator. So we are going to have to force a match restart there since we can't view the match. and
they're ready to go. I mean, they've been battling it out all day. They're like, put us back in there. They're fresh on their minds. They know what they were doing. They know what they want to accomplish. I really like Agony's play as far as like how they're coming in and how they're doing the generators. And usually if it presents itself, they kind of have someone set up on the door ready to go as they finish the last generator. So I can't wait to see that one. But yeah, you are right. I would assume the reason why Agony earlier on, the reason why they picked Spirit in that second match was because they picked Nurse in the first one versus Team Canapec there. It seems that all these teams are kind of valuing Nurse, and I would almost guess that they would probably pick Nurse on almost any of these maps right at the start here. Even one that might be a little bit more questionable, I feel like they would still pick Nurse. And as you see, both of those teams really value that. You want to put your foot down and say you're going to win this thing. And what better way to do that than on a Nurse of these caliber?
We are loading in here, Hexy, to the grand final, spectator included. Perfect. This time along. Oracle versus Agony underway for the rematch of a century here in Dead by Daylight. These two teams have battled it out time and time again in various different tournaments, leagues, and now here in the best of the best, the largest Dead by Daylight tournament to date. They will face each other for the second time this day to determine which one of these two teams are the best of the best in Dead by Daylight. Aaron going to the Ironworks of Misery with his Nurse to put Oracle in the lead. We'll see, or will Agony pull off a game of the century once more. Already some of the fastest survivor games we've had in the tournament. Maybe they can repeat that here.
Interesting. He brings out the Devour Hope again. The Devour Hope Ruin. So really going to try to take advantage of that, hoping to get hooks and then catch them off guard again. Maybe something. I mean, the Agony now has seen that build earlier on, so they might be wise to it. Seems like a little bit of a gamble coming in, but you know, the nice thing about going into this is Oracle is in the winner's bracket. They can afford to lose a match. And still come back into it. Obviously, you don't want to do that, but gives them a little bit of wiggle room, I guess you could say.
Have the insurance, right? That if you do end up losing the first of the best of 3 series, then you can come back into it. This is a pretty long chase already. I think Nightlight was the person who originally spotted, and Aaron's struggling on the water tower here of the Ironworks of Misery. It is a pretty hard tile to play on Nurse, and Nightlight plays it perfectly. Nightlight, world record holder for the most 4Ks in a row on Nurse. That was exactly what is necessary to try and get some distance versus the Nurse. And it's going to be Dr. Rock taking the first hit of the grand finals here versus Aaron, looking to try and come down. The Dead Hard will get the distance necessary to keep Dr. Rock alive one more time. Can Aaron find the blinks this time a little bit more cleanly than he has in previous games? Yes, he can. That's a down coming through for Oracle's Aaron.
That's what he needs. Gets the down. Should get the hook. I think he's going to lose 2 gens. Yeah, 2 generators going to go. Not the best situation, but now he's going to start his Devour Hope stacks, which is a good feeling. And, you know, this team might choose to just kind of ignore these totems and just kind of continue to drill the gens. As we've seen, Agony, in my opinion, and I think even according to the stats, have been the most aggressive team as far as doing generators. And it looks like the Nurse doing a little dance there. Not quite sure what's going on with her arm. Ryan gonna go down, so a much quicker chase coming in, going after Ryan. That'll be his first hook, and I don't know if he got the Devour Hope stack. It might have been too close, which would be kind of unfortunate because he's okay. So he did actually get the Devour Hope stack. That's good. It was very close. And there's going to be another one blinking out of the distance there, and they get a quick save on him. So he already has the 2 stacks. Going to be looking for just a few more here, and then he'll have the ability to start one-shotting. For those that don't know, what Devour Hope does is when you toss someone on the hook there, if you go away from the hook and they get a save, you start getting these stacks. At 2, you get movement speed. At 3, you can start one-shotting. And at 5, you can actually start mooring them on the ground. And with our rules set up, if you do achieve this mooring, because of how much of a buildup it is, you are rewarded the full 4 points for doing it to any of the survivors that you can achieve this with. So that might be kind of where Aaron's mindset is going to try to get the Devour Hope stacks and then try to get the Mories and get full points, which will be really difficult for Agony to catch back up. And he is going to have Dr. Rock on the ground slugging him out, and he does get picked up. Not quite sure. Yeah, okay, that was a heal. Nice. Good heal on I believe that was Nightlight that got him.
Yeah, Nightlight picks him up there. I mean, you can always look at the indicators on the bottom left. When that bar is flashing, then it means another survivor is interacting with the heal there. And it's going to be Dr. Rock brought back up. Aaron was trying to push the advantage and also wait out a potential decisive strike on Dr. Rock here. Laurie doing her best to keep Oracle's killer at bay. Second blink does find the down, and this is going to be the 3rd hook and potentially stat coming through for Aaron. 3 gens remain. Looks like that's going to be 1-2 completed for this hook. It just doesn't find the pressure that he was hoping for. We will be going down to just 1 gen remaining in a moment time. Oracle always at bay when Agony is on the generators. So much pressure put out by this team, and now 1 more generator remains before the Devour Hope is activated.
Still has Ruin enabled, still has Popped enabled. Doesn't really have a good 3-gen stack, though, to watch. So they should be able to kind of get this done. Where it starts to get scary is on this save on Dr. Rock. Assuming he stays away from it, he will gain the Devour Hope 3rd stack. And now all this team is full healed. So essentially, he will be one-shotting all of them. And they are continuing the gen aggression.
Dr. Rock has camaraderie.
Oh, he does.
He's been activated.
Nice.
34 seconds extra wiggle time on his struggle stage here. giving him a total of 94 seconds, and that is just enough to get one generator done. It takes 80 seconds to do a solo generator. There it is. It's going to be the unhook, and there's the generator that it was Oracle Agony trying to complete, but like you mentioned earlier, this is the Devour Hope now coming through. This is the potential for a one-shot down onto Finger Guns here, who has ran Aaron so many times before on his nurse, has just made it so difficult for Aaron to find the downs. And as this is happening, the down does come through, but Dr. Rock now grouping up with Nightlight on a generator, literally on the wrong side of the map from this hook. It's just too much pressure, I think. From Agony. Yeah, he'll get the down and he'll get the hook here, but I don't see them getting enough time to be getting that much more points.
It's still not a wash, though, because even if they finish this generator, if they end up getting this save and he's basically going to have Noed enabled, I don't know if they'll go out of their way to try to get the totem right away. So if that's the case, he could potentially get 5 stacks, and if he gets 5 stacks, he could start mooring. There's the 4 stacks.
Blown up generator right there. A really difficult decision for Aaron. Does he try and find Dr. Rock, who is dead on hook, or does he attempt to find a new survivor to get another stack and make the Mories possible onto survivors that have not been hooked yet? It is a totem being cleansed. It is going to be the Devour Hope, so it does not matter now. Dr. Rock has to be the choice for Aaron, and he has to find him quick if he wants to try and get a kill and some extra points. Finger Guns working the generator, Nightlight as well. These gens will get done. Just depends on when.
This is really the separation of the teams. As some of the teams we've seen, you see how good they are. Like, Agony is just professional at this. They constantly splitting the gens. They're about to do 6 generators basically here, and they already have someone sitting on the door ready to open it. Unfortunately, a missed blink on Aaron's part there, which unfortunately he's not going to have the vision and is going to have to use a second blink to try to grasp where he's at. He's going to see the scratch marks, but not quite sure if he knows exactly where he went. Oh, no, he does still have eyes on him there. A little bit awkward of a stun, but still gets the blink, and he is going to be on the chase, and there is no Noed active here. They might not know that.
The exit gate's on this wall. Ryan is going to be doing his best to get shepherded all the way to the exit gate here. Dr. Rock looking to try and block it. There's going to be Aaron looking for the blink and finding it this time on the blink. Dr. Rock going for a flashlight light burn attempt that doesn't come through. Ryan has been hooked once before, and so we have seen time and time again the deliverance plays coming through from Ryan and really causing upset time and time again. But this time that's not going to be the case, as this is his second hook. Can't we go off it? Wow, instant unhook comes through from Dr. Rock. That's going to be the blink onto the Lori, who's dead on hook. If this blink can land onto the Lori, onto Dr. Rock, then that is going to be her tournament life. It does. That's the down coming through on Aaron's nurse, and he'll find himself one more hook potentially here. Oh, Firecracker attempted a save, but Nightlight doesn't quite time it on the floor. Now trying to body block all the way through, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it in time. That is going to be Dr. Rock going on the hook here. And that's going to be another 2 points going the way of Aaron on Killer. 3-man escape coming through from Agony. 16-7. How many times, Hexy, have we seen this scoreline between Oracle and Agony?
Too many times, Dowsy. Too many times. So, I mean, this is still very much anyone's game. As we've seen, these teams are the best of the best going back and forth. Man, what a crazy turn of events. If there could have been that firecracker stun, that would have been amazing. Getting him off the shoulder of the nurse and he would have been able to get out. Or if they could have just got that D-strike active. I'm not sure if nurse is one of the killers that is currently bugged with the 2-second stun currently, or if it would have been the 5-second. She's not, so that would have been a 5-second stun on her if he did end up getting that person down. So just a nice blink there at the end, able to get Dr. Rock down, and that was the kill there. Not the person they needed to take that hit, unfortunately, but still anyone's match. Can't wait. It feels like it's a long time coming, but here we go. All right. Please, no bugs. Looking good. Looking good. Can we get eyes on everyone? Make sure. Oh, perfect. We're into it. Thank the heavens. All right. So we're probably going to see a lot of stealthing at the start. We can kind of chitter chatter as they're going to probably be waiting out the corrupt intervention. And that's what we're seeing. A finger gun's going to be scouting the side and almost looks like he gets an eye on Zongo, but does actually end up finding him there and is going to be engaging in his first chase. Finger gun's been doing a real good job of finding these chases. Excellent blind onto him. Oh, man. Going to drop the pallet. Shouldn't be a stun, or sorry, it shouldn't be a smack, and it wasn't. Going to be running around the corners here now. Finger guns going with the mind games. Can they predict properly? Is hearing the footsteps there and does get a smack.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, when you get blinded as Spirit in a phase book, it immediately pulls you out of the power as well. So that pulls Finger Guns out of his power, prevents him from having the ability to get close to Zongao, and starts that process of getting your power back. A nice little chase there coming through from Zongao, who's now going to try and play around the drop pallet from earlier and try and extend this chase as much as possible. Sounds like he's on the other side. No, it is the Vault. At the very last second. Man, he timed that to almost perfection of the duration of the Spirit, but Finger Guns true to his plan and is going to find his first hook here.
That's the difficult part with Spirit. It kind of just comes a mind game, and now you can't even really hear her footsteps at all because of that bug going on with that. So it becomes even more difficult to deal with that. They do get the 1 gen there with the corrupt up, so not too bad. 1 hook for 1 gen. It does look like they are going to be destroying the totem, which I believe is a haunted grounds. Was that not? I don't think they had the ruin enabled. So
it's one of the
they
two.
Did have ruin.
Yeah. Haunted Grounds,
they do
Ruin,
have
Know
ruin.
It,
Okay.
and Corrupt Intervention coming through. So it's a 1 in 3 chance that you get the Ruin, 2 in 3 that the Haunted Grounds punishes you.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a really good play on Oracle's part. 2 generators done. They just lost the Corrupt Intervention, and they've only gotten 1 hook. This will be the 2nd hook on Dezino, but a lot of back and forth here. There comes the save.
Going to be relatively near, I think, to where Aaron's attempting to complete a generator. You can see the save, like you mentioned, and the medkit gifted on over to Zongao to heal himself up. Just a little bit faster with the medkit than it would be the other survivor tapping him, and it also allows for just under 16 seconds of solo gen time. Instantly finds the scratch of Zongao. And this pallet never got utilized, and the pallet slam will come through, so Zongao was able to find the distance necessary.
I like the switch up in the build too on Finger Gun's part. He realized that the Rancor wasn't working, so it looks like he's chosen to drop that out. Zongao trying to give us motion sickness, wiggling his camera back and forth. We already got to deal with it with Spirit. Don't make us watch you do that too.
It's going to be the 2nd hook, though, coming through from Zongao. It's a nice little start to the game for Agony's killer here. 2 hooks, and there it is. The Haunted Grounds totem being cleansed by Xeno on the other side of the map. That means the Ruin will survive a little bit longer here. It seems, where is the Ruin totem? We haven't seen it yet. There it is, in a little tree loop towards the back of the map there. Not been spotted yet. There's only 1 generator back here, I think, and so it will be pretty difficult for the team to actually locate that, as there's not much reason for them to be on that side of the map. Is this Aaron?
It's like
kind of like a solo generator.
Corner.
Yeah, he's still got his sprint burst
available.
He is holding this. Look at the force on this man. He is still holding it. Some say he's still holding sprint burst today. The phase walk's going to come through. Can he get the hit? No, he can't. And there it is, the sprint burst now. We'll give the distance to Aaron once.
But this is what he needs, right? He's pulling the killer away from the generators, which are all on the far side of the map there for the most part. And obviously, Finger Guns wants the value on the haunted grounds and barely gets it. Just a few more seconds, and Aaron would have been completely fine, would have had to get hit twice. Nigel doing a really good job of hitting that generator. So I really like that hold on the sprint burst that Aaron did there. It was a little bit of a gamble, and it worked out for him, and it just ate up a lot of time from Finger Guns, giving up his possible 3-gen on that far side of the map. Yeah, and there it is. That's going to be the 3-gen taken down, so he won't have a 3-gen setup any longer. Not the worst situation, but, you know, you always want to try to keep that if you can.
That's another down onto Xeno, man. He has been on top of the hooks here. You notice this is a really common strategy utilized in competitive play. You typically just share hooks between 2 players. The fact that he added one onto Aaron was more to do with the fact that Haunted Grounds was providing that insta-down potential. Oh, that's a bug. To fix that bug. Oh, okay. Apparently, you can actually just hook the survivor sometimes through it, but you can fix it by dropping the survivor and then picking them back up again. There is a risk involved that if the survivor's already got quite some struggle time on their bar, then they might just find themselves wiggling off. But here we go. Zongao, the chase from finger guns onto this man, and he's looking to try and get one of the survivors out of the game at 2 gens remaining. Prediction play from Zongao, able to find the pallet stun, and that's going to be the chase extended.
A really good play on his part. He needs to live a little bit longer here because they do have 2 generators left to complete, and Zong is death hook. So if he goes down out of the game completely, and it might start looking more in the favor of Agony winning this entire thing.
There it is, the pickup.
Yeah, this is going to be the death hook.
Survivor here. The death hook, correct, and that's Nigel working a generator currently. Aaron's on another one. Xeno grouping up. There's a potential that finger guns can prevent these generators from finishing if he picks correctly. That's not going to be the correct choice. He's going to the wrong generator. That generator gets completed in just moments time. Aaron will pop his on the other side of the map. Nigel and Xeno now trying to get distance from the killer because of the no one escapes death that will be activating once Aaron completes the generator. Will he time it? Oh, there it is. It's Adrenaline giving the distance on Nigel, but no one escapes death has activated insta-downs on the basic attacks coming through. Finger guns trying to find the phase walk. There's the pallet drop down, but he predicts the vault, and Nigel on the floor for his first potential hook here.
This is so close again as we see between these teams. It still could go either which way as far as what team can win this. I'm curious to see if Oracle realizes they need to kind of get these saves. Otherwise, I don't believe they'll have enough points. Yeah, they won't have enough points unless they get the save and get Nigel out. They actually will lose this match if they just leave. And that's looking like what they're probably going to do. No deliverance on Nigel, and he is, in fact, killing himself. So they might be aware that the points are done and just going ahead and ending this because we had the major delays. No point in waiting, making us wait an extra minute. Agony going to take the first match. This is a good look for them. They are fighting out a loser's bracket, though, so they are going to have to win the next game, which will full reset the best of 3, and then it'll be a tie on both of them essentially being in the losers bracket for the grand finals there. But really good play on Agony's part. Nice footing there. We'll kind of see what happens going into this next match, but that's exactly what you want to see. It feels like we've already played a bunch of matches with the heavy delays there, but yeah, there you go. Really, really close as far as each of the games. They're always completing all the generators there. The difference was just the escape and hooks.
Yeah, Agony getting 3 of their survivors out, where Oracle were only able to do 2. That's a massive swing, Hexy, whenever that happens, because you're getting the 2 points for hooking and killing, and then the survivors are losing 2 points as well. So each one of those is essentially a 4-point swing, separating the 2 teams off of this one in this matchup. And like you mentioned, Agony taking match number 1 in this best of 3 grand finals, being the loser bracket team. One of the best Spirit players in the world, some would say. Finger Guns, well, he has something to say about that in the best of the best tournament. Here we are on the Temple of Purgation. We'll have to see exactly how Aaron can perform on his top killer.
Yeah, so he's doing it again. Another Devour Hope coming out. I guess he really likes this idea of doing that build. Seems like a little bit of a gamble, especially going into the finals here with $1,000 at stake between the teams, $10,000 for first place. It seems like I wouldn't want to rely too much on that gamble status of the Devour Hope, but maybe it pays off for him, and maybe he can cash that check later on. I mean, engaging in a chase with Dr. Rock, getting a nice smack.
Nice little smack there. It is a gamble. You know, you've got 3 hex perks there, and with just the corrupt intervention. So if they are capable of, wow, read that line like a book. If they're capable of finding the hex ruin, that's all the gen regression gone for the entirety of the match. So these totems are really important. Oh, he's transporting him a little bit further. He's going down into the basement. There it is, the basement of the temple. What a powerful place to be for your first hook, and that's going to be really difficult for Dr. Rock to get rescued from, especially because that basement is so deep that Devour Hope basically activates when you are standing over it, almost.
Yeah, it took him a bit of time. He loses the generator for that, but I mean, now they have a steep hill to get Dr. Rack out of that basement there. It does look like he probably will be engaging on the nightlight, and more than likely he will be telling his team to get ready for the save there, which should give him a stack of Devour Hope shortly. Another gen sound like off to the side there, like it was being completed. Looks like he will switch targets to try to gain as much value as he can on the Ruin, engaging in a chase on Finger Guns, it looks like. Finger Guns, excellent jukes throughout the tournament, does find himself on the wrong end of the blade there of Spirit, getting smacked. And I made this comment the other day. If you notice, a lot of these the Spirit players are all wearing the skins that kind of hide her hair so you can't see her as far in the distance. The short hair, really, really strong on her, as well as wearing the outfits that kind of cover the glass shards. The glass shards on her body actually glow when she is shifting, trying to catch them. So if you can cover that up with some of the cosmetics, I know, pay to win, it can actually make it really difficult to, one, see her across the map, and then two, see when she's actually shifting, which is already a difficult task even in her default skin.
Dr. Rock now running for his life. Should be able to make the pallet here in the shack. Has life available? No, he's used it already in this chase. Aaron's going to basically go for the window and try and find a phase walk onto the lorry here. It's going to be the second hook of the game if he's able to find it. The pallet's already been dropped. Can he reach it in time is the question. Fakes it out, but I'm not sure that's the right call, as I don't think the Spirit could have got all the way around in time. So that's going to be second hook coming through, and a camaraderie still active and available for Dr. Rock on this hook. You see Finger Guns and Ryan basically working on this generator, Nightlight there with them. So that should be another 2 generators potential coming through. Poor Agony. With is there a 3 gen back here near the temple? I'm not entirely sure. There's at least 3 gens there, but I think, yeah, one of them's been worked on. And here's the totem. Finger Guns is going to look to try and complete it and get rid of it. This is either going to be the Devour Hope or Ruin gone. And I don't even know what you would want at this stage in the game. Probably want your Ruin gone. It is.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want the Ruin gone. So he still has the potential of Devour Hope. One more stack on that. I feel like you get more value on that, with the Devour Hope still being in the back pocket. Because, if he can get one more down here, he will gain the one-shot potential on all the survivors. But, most of these survivors not really healing throughout. So, especially Agony, the most aggressive team as far as generators goes, they're not going to spend the time healing too much. So I don't know if I like the Devour Hope pick too much. It's just too much of a gamble, in my opinion, Dowsy.
Man, Aaron's really struggling right now with Ryan's Survivor. He's really just being thrown off by the directions that Ryan is taking. And at this point, Ryan's very happy to show some BM, but the BM is going to be met with a sword. Ryan actually has Deliverance here, Hexy, so that means that even if he hooks Ryan, the Deliverance will actually prevent the third stack, and this actually might be disastrous for Aaron in this scenario. Final generator completed is going to be, I believe, Noed in activated, so I guess the Devour Hope really doesn't matter at this stage. Just a bonus movement speed to get across the map a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, if they do get the save, he will gain access to it. So, I mean, oh yeah, never mind. He has Deliverance. I'm an idiot. Yeah, so that makes sense. So he isn't even going to get any value really off the Deliverance other than a slight movement speed boost, which isn't going to be too big of a deal. Finger Gun's going down, so that will find himself on the wrong side of the sword, and I'm assuming they'll probably just send all 3 out, which is really good value for their first match. There are minimal hooks, 3 of them out of the match. All the generators completed, and yeah, that's what it's looking like. So I mean, this is a really good performance from Agony, kicking it up and bringing the heat, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's going to be 5 points for Oracle there. Probably the biggest gap I think we've seen, right, between these 2 teams as far as the points go. So excellent play on Agony's part. Just couldn't keep up with the aggression, and I really would like to see Aaron, on if they end up going to this next match or these later matches, kind of maybe look on to just that build a little bit. I really feel it's the build that's kind of holding him back.
Yeah. No, I mean,
so
it's a risk, isn't it? A risk absolutely involved with the Hex Devour Hope, and if you are able to find all 5 tokens, then you get the Mori, you get the 4 points, and that is amazing. but it's risk reward.
Yeah, so Finger Guns was sitting on the hook there, just kind of waiting to not accidentally wiggle himself off the hook and reward him with more points there, knowing that, you know, D-Strike not really effective versus Spirit with the bug going on right now, so is going to deny him one extra point there.
Kind of nuts, Hexy. Looking back at the historical matchup between these two teams in the winners bracket final, we played so many rounds, 8 rounds as it worked out in a best of 3 series due to the tiebreaker match coming through. And the two teams were separated by only 4 points at the end of the tally. 88 to 84 was that scoreline across the entire of the series. So that's only 4 hooks separating these two teams, or 2 kills, however you'd like to look at it, separating these two teams. Nuts performances from both these two teams right now, but it seems like Agony have ramped up as this tournament has progressed, because this is a very dominant survivor score, 16-5, and like you mentioned, one of the toughest deficits that either of these two teams have had to face so far in the tournament. And for Oracle, they're going to have to play a pinpoint perfect game and try and get 4-man escapes without giving up too many hooks in the process. Best of the best title. First and foremost, got to do it here. Temple Purgation versus Oracle.
This is why we wanted to do the best of 3 in the finals. It does take a bit longer to get through these matches, obviously, but it allows the teams to really start to figure out what their opponent is doing and truly just download the tech, I guess you could say, to give them the advantage going against each other. Once you start realizing what someone is doing, you can start to play around that. And it does look like Finger Guns actually bringing in a Devour Hope build as well. So Corrupt, Ruin, Devour Hope, Noed, a very totem-heavy build here, maybe looking to do the same thing. Does end up losing the generator there at the start.
That might be the fastest generator of the tournament, Hex. So we're going to have our stack guys crunch the numbers after this game, because I think they hopped on it straight after the game loaded with a Proof Thyself and a Toolbox as well, which means that would probably be close to being a 40-second plus or even less generator. Wow. Agony survivors.
Yeah, that was really fast.
Oracle survivors here looking to try and take the record here from Agony.
I definitely think they achieved that right there, especially with Corrupt Intervention being up. Like, that's about as good as it gets, right? He did get the 1 hook, so it's not a complete wash for Finger Guns, but that's super good to just be able to slam that out. You know, Nurse sometimes can take a little bit to get around the map unless she's full committed to it, so she does have the slowest movement speed in the entire game. Oh my god, he actually messes up his blink and is able to spot him, smacks the wall, he's getting the distance, and this can sometimes be a little bit difficult blinking down here. Every little mistake really shows, and as you see, a little mistake there, and he has to eat it to the face, is going to be able to recover, gets a smack onto Zong, and Zong just trying to push the distance, getting as far away as he possibly can. Nice little 360 and back in.
You have so much opportunity as a survivor to just double back constantly due to the fact that the distance that you can essentially break by doing so forces the Nurse to blink down if she wants to stop herself in her tracks. In the end, Zongao does actually go down, and it looks like Finger Guns makes swift work of that one. That first generator happened so quickly, and since then we haven't had one pop. Is that because they are split between 3 and 3 generators are about to pop? Well, there's one of them. Looks like Aaron and Nigel, though, Aaron and Zeno, sorry, not quite having the same progress on their generators. So very quick start for Oracle, but not really matching it after the first gen.
Yeah, it was super fast. Seems to be a little bit slowed up, but they are doing the split pressure, so I like that. Zongao with some nice jukes, which did give him the extra time to get that generator down. Aaron looking to break a vision on the Nurse there. Unfortunately, not quite able to do it. Finger Gun wise to the matter. Looking to stun him, but actually narrowly avoids it, and down goes Aaron.
Deliverance available. This won't be the third stack of Devour Hope coming through. They'll leave Aaron on the hook to get himself off at a time that is convenient to Oracle. Now they are splitting their pressure between 2 generators. One of them pops. Aaron uses the Deliverance, denying that stack of Devour Hope, and it looks like Finger Guns is looking to try and chase down Zongao on the edge of the map here.
Dang, a much different chase. When you're caught in the open and she has full vision of you, you can't really do anything as far as the nurse is concerned. You're done for there. But they've been doing good with the pressure on the gens. Like, they're shoving them along pretty well. The Prove Thyself coming in very clutch as far as like some of the gen speeds go. Looks like he's blinking downstairs to kind of check that generator, but that is not the generator they are on. Doubling up on the generator in the shack here, looking to shove it, but they are going to split, it seems. We have Zeno possibly on the way for the save. Okay, yeah, never mind. They're not splitting. Yes.
With Prove Thyself as well, that generator will go at an increased speed. They might even just commit. No, they're not. The sprint burst to the wall gets Aaron out alive, and looks like Zeno's there to... Nigel's there to try and pull some pressure back his way. The decisive strike has expired. Devour Hope is now stacked up to 3, and I think the survivors... they didn't get the notification. The unhook happened just after the down. What great luck coming through from Fingergun. Set it up with the excellent blinks here. Now has an insta-down available onto Zeno, the only unhealed survivor.
This is pretty scary now. Fingergun's doing a great job. They haven't destroyed any totems, and as you're seeing, this the insane value off of Hex Ruin as these generators regress. If you notice, he was running Pop Goes the Weasel on his killers a lot early on, ends up switching over to the Ruin, and because they're not really destroying these totems, it's just gaining an incredible amount of value off of Ruin. This is going to be another save, 4 stacks coming in, and if they get one more save here, that will be the 5 stacks, which will allow Fingerguns to start mooring people on the ground, instantly killing them, instantly choking them out as the nurse, and rewarding them full 4 points for every single person. Now, the only downside to that is already, as you see across in the bottom left there, they've already been hooked twice. So either way, they're going to get rewarded full points. Other than Nigel has been the only one not on the hook yet. There comes a down. Obviously, now they know Devour Hope is in play. This could be a death for Aaron, but he does still have the T-Strike enabled, and it looks like Fingerguns is going to slug, ends up finding Nigel. He might just wait out the save.
He will.
Yes, if he waits this out. No, Zongao, no!
He has to drop. Fingerguns, you have the 5 stacks. Drop and get the Mori, get the 4 points. Is Fingerguns unaware of our rules?
What a big mistake!
That would have been 4 points.
That would have been 4 points.
Holy
He's
moly,
going to Mori Aaron. I'm not quite sure why that happened. That would have been the full 4 points, almost as good as you can ask for. So a big loss on potential points there, and then could have immediately came over to Aaron and Mori'd Aaron, earning him another 4 points for there, and then just down to 2 left. I mean, it's pretty much a landslide. It doesn't really matter, because no matter which way this goes, Oracle cannot come back, I don't believe, because that's 1 more gen, which is 2 points, and then 6. So there's no way that they can come back. We are going to go to a full reset on this match, and we might get the treat of watching some people be Mori'd here. Wait, what is he doing?
I think he's wanting the hooks to try and force pressure, perhaps, on the survivors. You know, maybe not realizing that Zonga was dead on hook. It's about leaving a survivor up, I think, on a hook, right? Because then if you leave the survivor on the hook, then they have to hop off the generator to then get the unhook onto their teammate, right? So that's my only assumption. That makes sense if he knew that Aaron was dead on hook, that he decided not to take the full points available to him. Now if he can down Zeno here, then he can either go for the Mori or he can go for the hook. It's his choice. He can go for the slug. All the possibilities available on this one. That's going to be a Hex cleansed, and with the exposed status removed, we know that was Devour Hope, so a hook is forced here. But like you mentioned already, the points have been absolutely smashed out of the park here for Agony. This is going to be putting them up to 29 to 13, and it does not matter if Nigel was able to find a hatch to escape through, or if Fingerguns finds the 4K here. This was an absolute demolishing of gameplay through Agony's the series here. There's the hatch. It will be escape. And that's going to be it. Agony have won our first grand final, our first best of 3, but coming from the losers bracket, they're going to have to do it all again, Hexy.
Yeah, so now both in the losers bracket. This is Eyes on the prize. No more resets. We're going for it. Whoever gets the first wins or 2 wins here will be crowned the best of the best. $10,000 going into the team's pocket. That was the most dominant performance between these two throughout the tournament. And it's I'm not quite sure if I was Oracle, what went wrong there. I just think, the Devour Hope stayed in, the Ruin stayed in. We didn't really get those totems destroyed somewhat early on. You'd like to see those out of the match. He got an insane amount of value off of the Ruin. Everything just came and worked for Finger Guns in that match. And I want to just thank you, Finger Guns, for going ahead and hooking him quickly so we can get into the next match. Obviously, their team probably on the points. He could have went ahead and slugged that to probably get himself the 4K. Thank you very much for that. You knew you guys won, so I appreciate you keeping it moving. I noticed that. I'm sure other people did. No point in dragging it out, but well played. That it will be a reset. So now we will be going in Agony and Oracle in another best of 3. This is eyes on the prize. Who can do it? Who will do it? I kind of have to go with Agony in this. They have been changing their play style and rising to the occasion. They started off a little bit rocky versus Oracle. It was a lot of back and forth, and as you're noticing in these later games, they're becoming a lot more dominant, a lot more scary, and I don't know if it's the nerves getting to Oracle or if they just can't keep up with the change of strategies that Agony is bringing to the table.
Well, these teams will have to fix their strats. Hexy, they're going to have to adapt because the real grand final is about to be played. Agony have defeated Oracle 2-0, but coming from the losers bracket, they're going to have to do it again, as Oracle haven't yet lost twice in this tournament. It's going to be another grand final, another best of 3, and another maps pool for these two teams to play on. The killers will be reset. We're going back to the drawing board completely. Going to throw it to a short break to give these teams a moment to take a breath and prepare for what is going to determine who is the best of the best in Dead by Daylight. So don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this double grand final. Well, Hexy, it has been an excellent tournament so far. So good. We weren't ready to just end the show just yet. Agony have come in here and 2-0'd Oracle in the grand finals, but since they came from the losers bracket, well, they're going to have to do it all again in a second grand final. It's a full killer reset, a new map pool, everything is refreshed straight, and whoever can win this best of 3 is the best of the best.
Yep, it's exciting stuff. Like I said before we went on the break here, and hopefully we'll be jumping into the game fairly quickly as we let them reset. But I really like what Agony's been doing. They've been changing their play, and it's just been paying off for them tenfold. And we're seeing some really good performances. And I'm curious if Oracle can go to the drawing board, maybe switch up what they're doing a little bit, and come back full force. But they don't have it easy anymore. This is game time. If they mess up again, they can potentially lose out on the money and fall into second place. I mean, the nice thing is in this situation, either way, you're going home with a good chunk of money, right? Like you could earn first place in some other things, and like you're still earning like a chunk, right? Like, so that's really, really nice. But you definitely want to go home with the title. A lot of these guys just want the bragging rights, I guess you could say, to say they went the distance. And on top of that, an insane amount of money. Some of these people, they were saying, stuck on these 50 FPS and lagging with the breaking computers and stuff like that. So should be able to buy a new PC, and you got that new graphics card coming out. Maybe buy you one of those as well.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty sick. So for those who are wondering, if you've just joined us or you're curious as to how this tournament works, you can find all of the rules at hexygang.com, and you can go through that. But we are heading on into what is the second grand final. The second stage of this tournament was double elimination, which means that each team must be defeated, has 2 chances, essentially. They can lose 1 game, but if they lose a second, then that is them done. Oracle never lost a game. Heading on into the grand finals, they were undefeated, meaning that with this defeat 2-0 by Agony, that is their first loss in the tournament, and now they get their second chance here. Agony will have to do it all again, and if you think about how Thompson House went back in the winners bracket final, that could have been a 2-0 to Agony. if they had, just played the game the way they needed to. Was definitely within their grasp. So Agony has been a dominant team. In fact, we're jumping straight in. This is crazy. All right, we're going to the Suffocation Pit. The maps have been selected. Suffocation Pit, Groaning Storehouse, Azeroth's Resting Place are the 3 maps of choice. We'll talk a little bit more about them later. Since Agony have won the second grand final, they get to choose which side they want to play first.
What you can do as a survivor, because that's really why she's so strong and so dominant. It becomes like a coin toss, as you will, as are you going to guess right or are you guessing wrong? And it's not necessarily even a coin toss. It's almost like a 70-30 split, because she has sound. So she's kind of at the advantage. She's more in control of the situation. So, I'm not a dev. I'm not going to get anything nerfed or buffed or whatever, but just fix the bugs. That would be nice.
That would be very nice. I wouldn't be mind seeing an operation fixed Dead by Daylight at some point in its future. Squish the spaghetti code. Finger Guns does go down into the basement on the shack side, confirming its location and checking the chest down there, I assume, for an item. I'm sure some players in the chat have been wondering what happens if the survivor was to be lucky enough to loot a purple or pink key. The teams are not allowed to pick those up in the chests. There's no way a key can ever influence the gameplay in the best of the best tournament. So far, I don't know if we've even seen one be looted. But here we go. Dr. Rock does get found at the beginning of the game, and it's going to be Aaron looking to chase him down and try and find the down as quickly as possible as well. Got some really good distance. I assume that must have been life on the Claudette here to get that distance. Haunted Grounds is going to get cleansed, and was that a second tome cleanse? No, it wasn't. The ruin is still up as well. The Dr. Rock probably pretty happy to be chased whilst Haunted Grounds is active, and in any seconds he can shave off that Haunted Grounds is going to help his team out massively.
Yeah, that's what he wants, and I would suspect we might see Aaron switch targets, but he might catch him on this pallet here. He does, and he will get the basement off of that. But I mean, that's about as good as it gets when it comes to Haunted Grounds, right? In a chase with Dr. Rock, who is already injured, so gaining no value off of it a good chunk of time, and they do finish the generator. Will Aaron be able to get up and catch them before the Haunted Grounds run out to maximize his value on it? Otherwise, he basically gained no value on it, and will be losing the Roan Totem there as well. So down almost 3 perks at the start of the match. Going to be a 1 perk Spirit very shortly. Here it go. Oh, yep, there he goes. And he's totally okay now. He will no longer be able to be one shot. So we are down to a 1 perk Spirit. And there is only the Noed, which will only be active at the very end of the match. So basically playing Spirit with no add-ons through the entirety of this.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the gen split as well. There's 4 generators on building side, and the shack spawned the basement. And they were able to get rid of that, rid of the generator on basement side immediately as well. It's a big rotate coming through here on the Ace. I believe that is going to be Finger Guns trying to get the rescue onto Dr. Rock before he does go second stage in the basement. They may have left it a little bit too long. There's a massive rotation coming through from the Ace, and you might see an entity summon come through in just a second onto that player. Ooh, no! They rescued him just in time. That was literally on the wire. So gets the full 2 hook stages available to him in this one, which is great because Dr. Rock is the camaraderie holder for the teams. You do want to make utilize that perk as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely, because it is only usable when he is in the struggle phase. So if he did go there and was Death Hook, he would have gained no value off of that. But, Ryan hitting the jukes, doing a phenomenal job juking Aaron for an extended period. We've been kind of just talking over it, and he has just been banging the jukes here. I'm really impressed with his potential. Ryan kind of one that BMs a little bit towards the killer, and when you have jukes like this, well, commentator curse, there it goes. But when you do have jukes like that throughout it makes sense as to why he feels confident in his juking potential. The downside here is Deliverance no longer going to be in play as he goes on the hook for the first time there.
Yeah, I'm going to see Aaron now finding Finger Guns. This combination rivalry almost established between Finger Guns and Aaron has just been so lovely to watch. I've enjoyed every moment of it. Aaron's going to continue the chase here on to Finger Guns Ace, who gets the pallet drop perfectly at this maze tile on the other side of the shack. It looks like Aaron's going to try and continue the chase and catch up to him. One of the generators has already been completed on that building side of the map, which is where that 3 gen is currently standing. Aaron standing still,
Mind
trying
games.
to get his power back and try and force finger guns into a play that is the mistake. And there it is. The mistake does come through, and the down will happen.
That's the hardest part of dealing with her, right? You don't know if she's going to the one side or going to stay on the other side, and it becomes this big gamble. And with them being injured and she has sound at her disposal, it almost just guarantees that she'll get a free down in that sort of situation. But we should see 2 generators coming out here, and I don't believe Aaron had... Oh, he does actually have a decent 3-gen stack there from what I can see. Actually, that might be an incredibly strong 3-gen stack. I didn't quite catch where that one was at, but yeah, this is not looking too bad. Only 3 hooks throughout, though. Gonna engage in a chase with Nightlight. Nightlight already injured, so might be able to make quick work of him. Reads that perfectly and catches him. Actually, it looked like he thought he was going to go to the pallet. Nightlight had a good idea, maybe moving away from it, but not quite quick enough. We will be losing the generator that Nightlight was on, and I don't see him being able to get over there. 2 of them doubling up on the other generator, and I believe that's on the far side of the map, so he really wants to stop that. That is exactly what they needed to happen. That was his 3-gen stack, and they just got rid of it.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Dr. Rock went down for that, that's probably worth for Agony's survivors here, just due to the fact that that 3-gen could have been held for some period of time. The natural regression of a generator is very slow, 1/4 of a charge per second, meaning for every second a survivor works on a generator, it takes 4 seconds to undo that action. There it is, finally. The last generator completed. Dr. Rock does have Adrenaline, fully healing and giving that speed burst, but with the Noid in place, Aaron will have the opportunity to insta-down the Claudette here at the back of the map. Kind of reveals that he's doing a red light mind game just to have a look at the Exegate. Yep, and he's going to try and chase it down. I think the Shack pallet never got dropped. That was saved earlier. Oh, Lord, another time for Dr. Rock to get hit under that pallet. Unfortunate timing for him. Exegate's being open on the other side of the map, so in this circumstance, we expect Agony to take the 3-man escape, as they've done time and time again versus Aaron's killer. He did actually go into second stage that works out, so that is definitely going to be the 3-man escape coming through. Oracle will finish this game with 6 points to their killer. Agony finishing 16 strong.
Yeah, really dominant performance from Agony. I really like that they got on that 3-gen stack and we were able to complete that. Had the 2 on the far and kind of just pushed it along, and it just didn't. The cards didn't line up for Aaron as far as like getting the pressure that he needed. So really just kind of falling behind. But, we've seen this sort of matchup where we have these close matches. But what would you do if you're Oracle in this situation? It seems like as these games progress, Agony is just reading them and reading them and reading them and doing better and better and better with each match.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, Hexy, and I don't really know what the answer is. These matches have been so close, and it seems like Fingergun's killer has just been ramping up as the tournament progresses. Who knows where this series is going? The Suffocation Pit is definitely a map that the killer can control, and Fingerguns will be bringing his taste, I suppose, to it in just a little bit here. Oracle, not the performance that Aaron would have wanted on his Spirit, especially considering that I think Spirit has been his #1 killer throughout this tournament. We are loading in to the second game of this second second grand final, I guess it is. Just that it is going to be Fingerguns on the Spirit on Suffocation Pit, trying to take it home for Agony after they pushed us to this second grand final. Oracle looking to try and hold on hard in this series. We'll see if they can do so with a ridiculous scoreline ahead of them to try and defeat.
I wonder, we talked about it earlier, but I really would like to see some difference in the killers, but I think it's just like these are the tried and trues and they don't want to mix it up. But I almost feel that if you did mix it up a little bit, you might gain some good value where the team just wouldn't be prepared. They're going into this almost knowing, all right, it's Nurse, all right, it's Spirit. They already know what's happening before the match even starts. So they're going to play as so. And I would personally like to see some others, but if your only other pick, at least from what we've seen of these teams, is a Pyramid Head, I don't know if that's obviously going to compete with a Spirit or a Nurse.
First time this tournament, we've seen Bitter Murmur featured on the killer side. It is going to be Fingerguns adapting builds again. Bitter Murmur Pop goes the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, and Hex. No one escapes Steph, the build for the Spirit, as they find Xeno over here on the opposite side of the map. And it looks like, you know, the Survivors potentially also changing their builds and cosmetics up, trying to just do whatever they can to get any advantage. Oracle now looking to try and get some gens done. The fastest team so far in the tournament to complete the first gen at 43 seconds on the Suffocation Pit. They might take themselves a little bit longer to ensure that they break any 3-gen that the killer may have.
Yeah, we have been noticing them on their survivors mixing it up, and that might be to just try to confuse the killer. You know, if you're seeing the Claudette, which Aaron had been running, and now it switches, you might think, oh, that might be Aaron again or something like that, but it's not. So you still have to deal with the difference of builds and the difference of skins, and I like that. Nigel actually doing a really good job with these jukes in the beginning. He had a little cheeky loop on that small pallet there, and had some solid mind games. Is going to get the stun on Finger Gun. Amazing play. No commentator curse today. Nice stun on Nigel's part.
Look at this, Zongao just lurking. Oh, the grab off the pallet just as we switch away. Finger Guns will find the first down in this game onto Nigel, and it looks like there's a hero hook right in the corner map. That is very difficult to be rescued from. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, you can see that Oracle are contesting generators on the Shack side, and it seems like there might only be 2 of them on the Shack side. Yeah, the third is kind of off to the side in the jungle gyms here, next to where Finger Guns is currently sitting. That is one of the generators being completed, but with the Pop goes the Weasel, he should be able to regress that a little bit. Xeno going to be forced away from this generator. Playing with the Dead Hard here as the exhaustion perk of choice. Through the window they go. Running as far as possible. Back into the window.
Oh, I like that. That was clean. I really like that from Xeno. You know, they're just showing what they're made of. Their survivor jukes have been really, really solid. So this is a pretty solid start. The generator's going a little bit slow, obviously waiting out the corrupt intervention at the start, which made sense. Nothing too bad. They did only get the 1 hook for it, so not the biggest loss. A nice hit onto Zongao. Trying to push the distance. They're trying to get some generator footing here, and I believe they're probably still going to be shoving that 1 gen over in the corner.
Listening to it, the Firecracker to try and find the blind and also silence the sounds as well. It does enough for Zongao here to make the window and get away from Finger Guns. Second generator completed here, and the bit of Murmur I don't think really having that much effect for Finger Guns. Not really seeing the direction that the survivors are crossing. Maybe he is. If he switched targets onto Nigel, who's already been hooked once. Yep, that is going to be the case. Now in a chase, and the pallets have already been dropped on this side of the map. Life not going to be utilized in the place that he really wants it to be. In fact, the exhaustion may have been up already, so he is just having to run around the hill, try and take a body block from Xeno, and wow, he's able to find it just at the nick of time.
I love this. Oracle, you know, is really going back to the drawing board, and they're just playing perfect. They're having really strong jukes. They're coming in clutch for each other, and they're just playing this really, really well. I really like how they're adapting. Unfortunately, Nigel going to be the one that gets caught there, and that's probably not the person you want to be caught. Actually, maybe not too bad, because he does have camaraderie, and he is going to be on struggle phase, so not necessarily a bad thing, because they'll be able to proc camaraderie whenever they want. That'll be an additional 34 seconds. He can sit on the hook, and they can continue the gen aggression if they choose to.
This 4-gen, though, is really difficult for the survivors to deal with. You can see that Xeno's attempting to get the gen pressure done on the other side of the map. Spirit phase walking back towards the hook. We can hear the vacuum noise. The camaraderie has been activated. 34 seconds extra struggle time now for Nigel, which is time to finish the generator on one side of the map and reset, I suppose, on the other side of the map. It looks like Finger Guns may even take the opportunity to try and catch out Xeno, who completes that solo generator. The bit of Murmur reveals that it was just a single survivor. So now Finger Guns has the information necessary to know that Xeno is running for his life. Wow. It just barely whiffs that. Xeno does have Dead Hard. I guess potentially that's what came through, the Dead Hard play. Tries to fake out the window, but it's not to any success here. That is going to be the 3rd hook of this game coming through. Remember, Aaron managed to get 6 points total, so 5 hooks into a kill was the final scoreline. That's going to be an inside hook with the borrowed time off the husk. Really just assuming that that Finger Guns was going to highly prioritize the pop kick immediately on this generator.
Yeah, it makes sense. He wants to get back to his gen stack on that side of the map rather than commit too much time. So it was a nice save. It did seem a little bit rushed, but I really like the play.
Aaron running through the phase walk to distract from the fact that Nigel's on this side of the map and injured. They're stacking up on this generator. Pop goes the Weasel still in the back pocket, so it is going to be instantly utilized on this generator to regress another 25% and continue to hold these generators alive. Oracle are definitely within grasp of equalizing up the score here and potentially even taking the match here on game 1 of the grand finals. Aaron going to take a hit and just run directly towards the Killer Shack side. He does not want to give any time to this. They all have to play so pinpoint safe due to the fact that so many of them are injured. There it is. Zongao is going to be found in the little crack of that. But I suspect that we're going to just turn on to Zeno and keep these pressure states going. Is there a generator being done somewhere? Is Zongao working a generator on one side of the map? Or is this going to be all 4 survivors now on Shack's side resetting?
It's looking like it might be a reset, honestly. They are spending the time to heal, which I think is the right decision here. Yeah, so they're all going to cross heal on the opposite side of the map. Basically a full reset, I would assume, and come back. And then we'll be resetting all these generators down. I like this play because I really feel as though this is going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to getting this gen. I feel like they should be able to complete this if played right. And then it's going to basically be, can he catch Nigel off guard and get them dead? If that becomes the case, then it's going to be real bad. Or will this Bitter Murmur Noed combo come in real clutch towards the later part? But I like that they all pulled back and healed. They won't be moaning and making all the noise, and they can afford to take a hit here, which just kind of delays the spirit in time, you know, having to engage in a chase and getting the smack and then having to do it all over again. As long as they keep this up, they should be able to do fairly well as far completing this. But, you know, Noed still sitting there, finger guns ready to pop, shoot off. And is overextending a little bit to chase after Nigel, who's uninjured. I'm assuming he's going to go back to his side of the map. Yeah, he still has to deal with Love Shack.
Yeah. I was wondering if there were, a call was made in the Agony camp that if they kill off Nigel, then they've got that no one escapes Steph and the Bitter Murmur to try and find another kill. There it is. It's going to be Zeno rescuing Aaron from this situation. But here it comes. The Bitter Murmur and the no one escapes Steph. So far, only 3 hooks. A 4th hook would come through from the next survivor who dies. If there is a possibility that they get a 3-man out, then they could be in a position to still win this. Oracle aren't definitely out for the count just yet. It is going to be Nigel going on the floor with the no one escape Steph insta-downing with the exposed data spec is going to go straight on a hook. But look, all 3 survivors are on the opposite side of the map. This is going to put Agony up to 21 points and with 3 survivors escaping on 16. Oracle will take the lead in the series 22-21. If any team was going to come back from this performance of, it was going to be Oracle, a performance of a lifetime on the survivor side. Game 1, match 1 of the second best of 3 goes the way of Oracle.
We are going the distance here now, and like we were saying, they weren't really changing their play style, but I don't know what happened with this one. You could just see that they were executing. They knew what they needed to do. They were backing each other up. I really like the plays that they were performing throughout. I like the reset. They recognized they have a 3-gen stack. They pushed it. Unfortunately, no real value on the Noed coming out again. It does seem to be one of those situations, you know, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Noed's so OP. But, you know, your 3 perks throughout the entire match. You don't have that 4th perk enabled. And then sometimes in these situations, you get the smack and it's already on an injured person, giving you no advantage on the Noed. And then if you go for the pickup like that, the other 3 or 2 just go ahead and leave the match. And that seems to be what's happening here. Usually a bit too time consuming to bring someone to the hook. And as you see, pulls them off to the far side, and the other 3 on the opposite side able to open the exit gate, get out, and winning this by 1 point there. Very, very close match. Oracle winning this just by 1 single hook. So they were down a little bit, but they are not out, and they're coming to play.
Grand final here. We are loading in, Hexy, to match number 2. It is the Groaning Storehouse and Aaron on the Nurse. We'll see exactly how he's able to perform here and see what kind of build he's brought. Is going to be a Hex Totem discovered. Oh, no, and look at that. It is actually going to be the Devour Hope Haunted Grounds and the Ruins as well. So probably not the totem that Aaron wants to see. Wait, they did?
At the Ruin Totem, they actually were on 2 totems right off the gate there. Ruin Totem already going down, destroyed immediately, and it looked like Dr. Rock, I believe that was on another totem, maybe identifying that was the possible haunted ground, and he's basically just chilling next to it. So he might try to set up here and just kind of wait it out, and then again, when one of his teammates injured, go ahead and destroy that. And then literally, this is what I was talking about. So already out the Ruin value. Potentially, they could just sit on this and not destroy this. They're probably aware that he might have the Devour Hope, the Haunted Ground, but he does have Devour Hope. So if they do sit on it, that's always a big threat. So this is what I'm saying. It's kind of a gamble. It's a gamble build, and I don't feel the caliber of these players allow for that gamble play style of just hoping that you're going to gain value on it. I'd like to see something more consistent. His killer is good. The builds are just not coming together. The builds are honestly good too. It's just not flowing together like you'd like to see with the randomness of it.
I mean, 75% unlucky is what you're going to call it there, right? You know, a 25% chance that it would be Hex Ruin, and that is what the Agony survivors found off the bat of the 4 Hex Totems they had available to him. Finds finger guns here in the chase, gets a pretty good first hit onto him. Realistically, at the pallet, won the 50-50 play, now has to try and win the L wall here. Bit of an overblink coming through past the L wall, now trying to get line of sight locked down as the rest of Agony are going to be grinding out some generators here. Looks like he's actually dropped the chase with finger guns immediately. Finger guns has been Finger guns is the survivor that I think has given Oracle the most trouble on this nurse so far.
Yeah, he is just dominating on his jukes. He's really been tripping Aaron up a lot. I definitely think he has the best jukes versus Aaron so far from what we've seen, and he does get healed up there with the med pack in hand. So pretty much no value there on the smack on finger guns other than a slight waste of time with the med, and they got 1 generator completed. I kind of thought Dr. Rock might go ahead and destroy the totem there, but did not. So a possible 1 stack of Devour Hope coming out here. It seems like they're just sticking true to what they know, running very similar builds with slight variations. So we'll see what happens here. Going to be engaging in a chase with Ryan. I've really been enjoying watching Ryan's Survivor gameplay. He's been having some of the silliest jukes we've seen in the tournament there. An unfortunate blink, but it does actually pay off for him. Is going to get a blind, so that will eat just a second or so there. Gets the pickup.
It's in a corner of the map as well, which will force a lot of Survivor movement. It is going to be the Totems cleanse. It looks like they actually do want to get rid of the Pendulum Devour Hope, and so they're going to risk the Haunted Grounds pop here. They've staggered the totems, so in the instance that Haunted Grounds doesn't pop, they can commit to the other one. And that'll be Devour Hope now gone. Haunted Grounds activated for the next 60 seconds. See if Aaron can make any work off of it.
Got the Devour Hope.
Oh, you're right. It was a Adult Totem. Okay.
No, I think it might have actually been a legitimate totem, but it was another Haunted Ground. When the Haunted Ground cleansed, it actually just deactivated it. Yeah.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, no, you're right. It is the Devour Hope still active, so Aaron still has the potential of getting some stacks available if the survivors aren't able to find it. It's now going to be Dr. Rock taking the chase. Dead Hard able to extend the chase just a little bit further. Can he keep it up is the question. No, that is going to be the down coming through onto Dr. Rock, who I'm seeing has been hooked 3 times. Is that correct?
No, I don't remember. They might have jumped the gun a little bit. That should be the second hook for Dr. Rock. I'm not quite sure. I think they got a little bit antsy on the spectator cam there and does give the kill point. But yeah, that should be struggle. Yeah, struggle phase 100%. So,
yeah. So now the score is 3-6. Dr. Rock now on their second hook here. Has Camaraderie activated on the hook, so he'll just sit there for the next 34 seconds as the team now tries to pressure the generators out. And I mean, they know that there's the real possibility that Devour Hope is the final totem in this build. So they're going to try and delay this unhook as long as possible to not allow Aaron the opportunity to have an insta-down.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually just sitting just out of range of it too. Kind of waiting for them to save, knowing he will get the proc there, and unfortunately loses Devour Hope. So basically, again, down to a 0 perk killer again. We've seen this earlier. We see it again. Can he come back from this? Nurse is the killer to do this on. Gonna try to stay somewhat near Dr. Rock, kind of wants to force the kill as soon as he can. And we have 2 people on generators there. So, I mean, these gens should fly. And if Agony is keeping track, they know that there is no potential for Aaron to have Noed here. And they could just basically freely do these gens. That one generator not as far along. Not quite sure what the other generator's at, but I'm assuming it's a decent chunk in, just not too far. And this might be a possible try on the trade here.
Aaron needs to time it correctly. There it is.
Oh,
the grab comes
no.
through. He finds it. And that is the worst case scenario for Agony survivors here. They did not want to give up another hook before the generators were completed, but Nightlight will go on to their second hook.
That is arguably the worst thing they could have done. They should have been just focusing on the other generators and probably just let Dr. Rock die. They would have finished all the generators, no Noed in hand. But unfortunately, Nightlight getting grabbed off of the save there. Maybe just thinking if he could get him off with the borrowed time, he would have been able to get the distance and take the trade, and he himself would have went on the hook, having camaraderie still chilling there. That looked to be like what the play was, but it didn't quite line up. And actually, Aaron with the nice grab on him, this is going to put him in a decent spot.
It's an extra hook that potentially was never going to come his way. Now he can try and double back towards the survivors on this side of the map. The generators haven't been completed yet, but I do believe one of them is very close to being done in the corner of the map. It is a 3-gen, but without any gen regression, it's very difficult to force it to stay that way. You can see Nightlight with running away for his life, basically, against Aaron's Nurse. The center gen not really got that much progression on it. I believe Ryan was lurking about next to this generator. There he is. Almost got it completed for his teammate. No decisive strike, though, on Nightlight, who did go down to the grab on the generator. Looks like Ryan now may be under a bit of pressure and instantly moves away from the generator. Look at that. Will he be spotted is the question. And will Fingerguns be able to get in range? No, it looks like he's just going to be happy to sit on a new generator.
They might. I wonder if they'll try to reposition back there, because oh nope, still being in a chase with Ryan. Nice little juke back. Look how cheeky that is. How he does that. I love watching Ryan's Survivor gameplay. It's so good. Does go down.
This is huge.
I don't believe he's dead
been hooked
either.
twice.
I think that was. Has he actually been hooked twice? I feel like that was updated a little early. I don't know if they're getting some sort of feed a little bit before us. Yeah, so it is for some reason our overlay is updating. They might be getting the information just a little bit before we're getting it. Obviously, this is all done online, so maybe he is telling the future. So that is going to be struggle phase for Ryan. And if I was Agony, I would just be taking that, get 2 people out. Still a very winnable match, very close. I mean, potential to possibly tie even in this next match. Almost as good as it can get. Ryan won't have access to the deliverance. He does have the D strike. They do know that he has no Noed, but I just don't think it's worth the risk.
And that is going to be the 2 escapes. 14-7. A very close matchup between these 2 teams. This is one of the better results that we've seen out of Aaron's killer so far in all of the matches we've played, and this is exactly what Oracle needed heading into their second match of this best of 3 series. The second match of the second grand final. Oracle with 1 point ahead of Agony, now in an excellent position to potentially close out this series. 7-14 opens up so much variety and potential. Only 7 points separating them.
Still very much anyone's game here. Oracle feeling nice. They already got the 1 tick, so if they can hold it down versus Agony in this next match, they will be dubbed the winner, and they are in a fairly decent spot. Not the best of positions, but not the worst either. About a middle of the road. we might see another tie, or we could see a sweep. So we'll kind of see. I'm assuming Agony is going to bring out the nurse. We've been seeing Finger Guns do really well on his nurse gameplay. I'm hoping that maybe he scraps the Bitter Murmur, realizes that didn't quite work out for him, and we see a bit of a stronger build. And this could go a 1-1, and we could go the distance on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to be loading into this matchup now. Oracle have finalized their builds, as have Agony, and we are going to see exactly what they have picked for what could potentially be the last game of the best tournament here. Finger Guns on the nurse, bringing it to Groaning Storehouse, with Oracle surviving to try and close out the tournament in a 2-0 fashion. The second grand final going all the way. These two teams refuse to die. But eventually, there will be one that is crowned the victor here. We'll have to see if it is Oracle or if Agony can bite back into this series. It's all on Finger Gun's shoulders, his team lurking in the wings, the blink resounding in our speakers, and Agony looking to try and bounce back in the second matchup of the second grand final.
Yeah, neither of these teams want to give up. They're just duking it out. I thought today was going to be a very fast day, and we are actually on pace to be a longer stream than our top 8 the other day. So neither of these teams wants to go out. They keep swinging and they keep knocking each other out. But Xeno going down to Finger Guns fairly early on. So Finger Guns ain't done yet. He wants to win this. He's coming to prove a point, and it does look like he is running the exact build: the Ruin, Devour Hope, Haunted Grounds, Corrupt Intervention, going with a bit of the RNG. It seems to be this must be a meta build for the competitive scene, and maybe just what they feel confident on, trying to give them as many one-shot potentials and kills as possible. Obviously, when you know you have the potential of earning full points for Devour Hope, it could be worth the risk of that. But we saw Finger Guns not gain the 4-point advantage when he did have the Devour Hope earlier. That might have been a misread. Nigel with a nice dead hard there, though. Gonna give him the slip, try to break vision from him. Not able to do so successfely, though.
As the block for the flashlight, the blind may come through. Angle not quite available there. I think it was Zongao and potentially Aaron on the ace, switching around. It is Aaron now playing ace. They pretty much play the same survivors every round, but they switch out who is playing them just to confuse, like you mentioned earlier, Hexy. Aaron now going to be holding out towards the back of the map here, trying to reduce vision by crouching and reduce his profile as well. Should be able to now swipe on in for a rescue. Like you mentioned, the Devour Hope, it is a risk-reward system here in the best of the best. If you are able to Moria Survivor with the Devour Hope after getting it all the way stacked up to 5 tokens, then that kill will count for the full points available on that Survivor, whether that be just the one for hooking because they've already been hooked multiple times, or all of the 4 points because they haven't been hooked yet. You do get everything there. Nigel now going to be rescued, and a second Devour Hope and token available at 5 gens remaining.
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely different match from what we saw with Aaron on Nurse. He's having much better luck with his totems. They're still all in play. Ruin, Haunted Ground, Devour Hope already has the 2-stack of Devour Hope that it was perfect on Finger Guns. Baited out the dead hard. Nigel, thinking that he was going to swing, actually goes ahead and dodge, and here will be our first totem destroyed. Not quite sure what that is. It was Devour Hope. Oh, yep, Devour Hope going down, so no more value off of that. Not necessarily the worst thing to lose, though, in that situation. Probably would have liked to keep it up, though, to be fair. But still 5 generators in play, and it seems to be Oracle's just slowing down their gameplay a little too much this time around.
Yeah, a definite shift in pace here. I mean, this is going to be the longest generator, I think. Best generator for Oracle of the entire tournament, and it's in a match that is theirs to lose. Looks like Zongao is going to find a new totem. Look at the pressure that this Ruin has been putting out. Nigel has Camaraderie activated on his hook, can sit there for some time and more. Xeno trying his best to keep Finger Guns at bay, and that totem will get cleansed, and it is going to be the Hex Ruin. So they have dodged a bullet. Hex Ruin gone, Devour Hope gone, and they will leave those Haunted Grounds totems up for the rest of the match. But now they have to tackle these generators out. Already Nigel at second hook, and Looks like Finger Guns is coming back here to try and prevent the unhook as well. Oh, he's blocked the hook. That is ridiculous timing. Nigel dies. The hook blocked, I believe.
That is incredibly bad. This is looking like an Agony game to win right now with just this sheer dominance on the Nurse, on Groaning Storehouse. I'm a bit in awe. My mouth is actually wide open that a generator still has not. Okay, there we go. Finally. I was about to say, the fact that a generator has not been completed that far into the match and he already has a kill, that is extremely devastating for them. This is definitely their game to lose now. They really need to get their head out of their butt and pull it together and just get this save, get these gens done. But I don't know, it's going to be pretty rough. The nice thing is they've pretty much gone through all of Finger Gun's perks at this point, only having the haunted grounds, and because these teams have been versing each other all night and are very familiar with the comp scene, especially in the Europeans and the Russians and stuff like that, they kind of know what is going on with these builds. This is what I was kind of saying. It would be nice to see a bit of a shift, so that way they don't have a perfect read as to exactly what's going on, but you know, they're choosing what they know, and they're just trying to showcase what they can do. And it seems like Finger Guns is having a much better game. There comes the Deliverance off the hook. Does have camaraderie and borrow time available. Sprint burst just boosting them out of there, but I don't know if it's going to give them far enough distance from the Nurse.
He's going to try.
Nice read. He will get the vision.
Yeah. Sprint burst does get him away from the first here. We're going to have to see exactly what Zongao can do for his team, trying to crouch it up and hide his vision. Not quite able to do so. No decisive strike available for Zongao either.
I was going to say, you should go for the pickup, and there's no decisive strike there, so this will be another hook, and this is a death hook possibly for Zongao. Not really where you want to be at 3 generators left. This is looking like, can they even come back on this? Oh yeah, no, they're still in the game. They're still in the game for now. But you know, this is definitely not looking pretty. It seems Finger Gun has complete control. Xeno trying to hit a smooth 360, unfortunately, just face to the floor. Didn't even pull off the 360. That will be another hook, and you know, he's gonna get this hook placement and then immediately be able to. He actually ends up spotting Aaron really bad. Aaron doesn't even have borrow time.
Wow. Aaron goes down. There's another hook available. That's going to be Xeno going onto this hook here.
Man, dude, Finger Guns is just a monster on the Nurse. And you see he's even just trying to push generators, but I don't think they can come back on this. If he just chills and kind of he knows that he's off to the left side there. If he just kind of chills and makes sure that he doesn't save or nothing, they pretty much guarantee the victory. He just can sit here. Yeah, it actually looks like they're just giving up. Xeno dropped himself there, right? I'm pretty sure that was a drop. I don't think the timer was up.
Yeah, no.
It looks like they're just going to drop. And I don't know. Yeah, it looks like Aaron's killing himself, maybe realizing that this match is a straight wash, and we will be going the distance. 1 tick for Oracle, 1 tick for Agony. This is the best of 3. We will be resetting this one last time. This will be for the winner. $15,000 prize pool, best of the best tournament. Oracle versus Agony, going all the way to the finals. Zong just going to try to find the hatch for good measures, even though it doesn't really much matter here. There's nothing his team can do. We'll find the hatch. We are resetting this.
Yeah, we're going the full distance here. On the board, it is going to be, I believe, 23 to what I saw was 11, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's a little bit more. Coming out of Oracle. Sorry, 23 to 13. What a tough loss there for Oracle. There was definitely something weird going on with the unhook that didn't go through. Allowed Nigel to die on that hook really quickly. And I'm not entirely sure what happened there, Hexy, but it definitely impacted the way that game went, and we're going to have to figure out what that means. But Agony now potentially in a position to bring it on back. I am actually getting word that there is a potential for a camaraderie bug that caused that weirdness. And so what we're going to do, Hexy, is actually throw this to a silent standby, allow our admins to investigate the footage and see if that did impact the match to a degree that is worthwhile investigating any further. We do apologize to everyone for the further delays in this tournament, but we want to make sure that we are giving the teams the best chances to be crowning themselves the best of the best here. So stick around for the exciting conclusion of this series between Agony and Oracle. Well, as if it was written, blood in a stone, we have looked at the footage and determined that there was a bug with Oracle's camaraderies, which forced the survivor to instantly die on the hook as soon as the camaraderie had completed, despite there being struggle bar left for that hook. And based on the fact that this happened not only once, but twice on another survivor who, I guess, didn't die due to this bug, we have determined that the only course of action that we can take is a match restart for this only game. Now, since the game did get played all the way to completion, and since Oracle are the ones who are calling for the match restart, we are going to enforce that Oracle must maintain their survivor picks and builds on all 4 of their survivors. But Agony, if they wish to, are able to change it up. Now, we don't expect them to change the killer because Nurse has been their strongest pick throughout the tournament. But maybe they switch up the build now that the full Hex Totem build has been revealed. This is potentially tournament increasing, and we do apologize for all the delays and all the difficulties. I mean, this is Dead by Daylight, I suppose, Hexy, and it's always been known that this game has some of the finest bugs in the market. There's a game in this bug somewhere, so we will see exactly what that means for the players here. But Jesus, this is drawn on, and these are European teams. I mean, I live in the United Kingdom. It's 1 a.m. These guys probably living Central European, maybe even Eastern European. So 3 a.m. going on for some of these players. It is a tough one. The double elimination is brutal, and these players have pushed it literally to its full extent, squeezed as much juice out of it as possible. I mean, I know that we're getting tired as well, but we thank you all for watching, trying to make this the best tournament it can be, and I guess avoid results when the bugs do arise.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating that we are encountering so many bugs today. For most of the tournament, we didn't encounter too many. I mean, a little bit here and there, and then obviously a lot of the bugs that we were aware of. But for some reason, I don't know if it's their computer specs or if it's just the game deciding to act up. But it has just been bug after bug after bug, and after going through the footage, that seemed to be kind of what the case was. I'm not really familiar with camaraderie, so I'm not sure if that even bugs as is, but it's clear as day. The camaraderie ends, and then immediately there is a death hook, where you even noticed us throughout the match being a little confused on it. I feel bad for Agony, right? That was Agony's game to win. Oracle was playing that very poorly. That was probably their worst game of the entire tournament, to be fair. 4 minutes 20 seconds on their first generator. You realize they should have a few generators pumped at that match, or at that point in time. So it was definitely their game to lose. But camaraderie not coming in, which would have been pretty clutch there. I think it would have set them up to be able to get the saves, and it could have been maybe spelt out a little different. But I felt like Agony was still going to win that regardless. Even if they did end up getting the save, they had so many gens that hadn't really been completed. But this is just the card that we're dealt sometime.
It was a lot of split pressure onto the generators. The Hex Rune had been removed, so that generators were sitting tight on whatever progress they had been built up to. There was no gen kicks happening from Agony's game. So realistically, there's always the possibility that 4 generators go bing bang bomb based on all the generators that have been completed, and a game that was 100% not looking great for Oracle instantly switches on its heels. It's too hard to tell, and I guess not enough manpower to be able to make these decisions to the most accurate thing. So trusting intentions here, and going with the match restart, which is so important for Agony. And I think everyone knows that Agony has had to really fight for their position here in the tournament, and one of the most deserving teams so far we've seen. Match after match, they've made their own errors, right? They did make the mistake on Thompson House, which pushed Oracle into the grand finals, regardless of the decisive strike, the 2 seconds on the spirit and him getting the down, they didn't even have to be in that position. They chose to unhook themselves, and they could have won without that. So, that is their agency, their decisions made, and we don't blame them whatsoever, knowing that we have full information on what the scores may be, and the players not having that. But here we are, and it is going to be Finger Guns reloading back into this game once more to try and push his team over the edge into a third matchup in this series. Has the opportunity to change the field, but he is trusting it and is going forth with the Haunted Grounds, the Devout Hope, Hex Ruin, and Corrupt Intervention.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't get any bugs here. I'm surprised sometimes a little bit on that downtime because no one's really changing their builds up too much. The main thing that seems to be happening is maybe they're just going and trying to flesh out some new game plans, and they do seem to be switching up the survivors pretty regularly and then just doing different builds there. But fundamentally, it seems to be about the same builds throughout. So a little bit of a different pacing here. Finger Guns looking to find Oracle as they hide in the corner. Nigel on the middle generator there probably will get spotted. Actually going to find Zongo and will engage in the chase, finding the first the totem there, and should be a destroy there. Will it be the Haunted Grounds? This could be bad.
I mean, we have seen time and time again that when the first hit doesn't come out, the totems resets. And they don't cleanse it immediately. We will see if that is the case with these 2 survivors. The loud noise notification, I think on this wall here, yeah, it was, and so far doing well. Xeno continuously resetting the totem, though not going to cleanse it until the first hit happens, just in case it is the Haunted Grounds. And look at that Oracle on a generator here. How frustrating it must be for Agony's killer to be in a position where he has to prove himself again and again and again. First gen done.
This is really smart. He just keeps resetting it, and Finger Gun struggling to get the hit. Finally going to connect it there after a good chase. Now should be going ahead and cleansing that totem, going ahead and rolling the dice on if it will be the Haunted Grounds, the Devour Hope, and it is the Haunted Grounds that's out of play, and it looks like they already are on another totem there. This is a much different game coming out from them. Still a little bit slower in their play, a little more methodical, but they want to just remove these totems, and it looks like they got the Devour Hope. So Devour Hope and Haunted Grounds both out, and gets the down with the Haunted Grounds, but he was already injured, so no value off of Haunted Grounds. This possibly could be a 1 perk killer for the remainder of this match.
At least it's the Hex Ruin, which provides the regression. We'll see exactly how this is able to benefit Finger Guns. The Haunted Grounds still not finished yet. Nigel stacking on the generator here. Going to look to try and get it done with Xeno. Whilst Aaron across the map is going to be working here. So it looks like Aaron may have just been pushed off his generator here. Yeah, he has on the LWT. Well, has Sprint Burst ready to go to try and get some distance. The Haunted Grounds is fading. Can he get the hit in time is the question. Predict it. Oh, no, not quite. Aaron runs a straight line towards the wall, and Haunted Grounds will be avoided, so no insta-downs to happen. Just seconds off that potential.
Aaron to try and do his best to get some distance there, trying to loop the tree, maybe get a smack, but Finger Guns is definitely way better than that. Makes quick work of Aaron. On the hook he goes. 2 generators down. Completely different pacing. I mean, they hadn't even finished a generator at this point in the previous match, or maybe it was their first generator getting done in the previous match there. So they're definitely picking it up and getting what they need to do. Actually only 1 person on the generator while the other is healing there.
Really no mistakes can be made here from Finger Guns from this stage on. Has to find the survivors, get them out, and prevent escapes from Oracle if he is to be able to prevent this being the 2nd match win of the 2nd grand finals. Looks like a rescue now coming through by Xeno onto Aaron. It is going to be contested. The hit does come through, and it should be borrowed time applied. Can they take the hit? He's trying to body block with the Sprint Burst, trying to get in there. Dead hard, but not enough. Xeno will go down.
Good hit on Finger Gun's part. He was trying to body block him to get the borrowed time to proc there and get him the distance, but they do take a trade here. That is going to be 3 hooks coming out. 2 people doubling up on a gen far away, so more than likely they will be able to finish this. But if he can make it over in time, he does have the Ruin active and should be able to get some sort of regression there. Hopefully, it looks like they are destroying another totem, it seems, maybe thinking that he might have Noed in the back pocket. But, you know, at this point in the game, they should be counting the perks and understand that there is no Noed available. They've destroyed on it, they've destroyed Devour, and they still have Ruin enabled, and they saw the Corrupt, so they've already seen all 4 perks that Fingergun has in his pocket. Zeno gonna go ahead and get saved there. Chase with Zongo. Zongo gonna vault that.
Second hook potential here for Fingerguns onto Zongo. If he gets him down, he does nice and quick, and he can hook him on top of this generator, which already has a decent amount of progress, and let that Hex Ruin regress it some more. They have spread, though, across 2 more generators across the map, literally in the opposite corners from each other, whilst Nigel stands on guard, ready to try and get the unhook if necessary. Activate the camaraderie as well, which I assume is going to happen. There it is. Activated camaraderie now going towards the generator in the corner of the map to try and complete it, whilst Fingerguns searches for a survivor.
Still,
my unlocker. You have decisive. He must do. You don't have an unlocker unless you have DS. There it is.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Dead hard
so
available.
Nurse
in the back
unfortunately has the 5-second stun too. Is not a bugged killer. Does he give that up? He is.
Yeah, he does. He's going to go back towards the hook, because this is normally when that hook is about to happen, but the camaraderie has just deactivated. So 34 seconds on this hook, and typically you would have the survivor die in the next 20.
Yeah, I do get the gen on the far side of the map, and that one gen that they were working on and had a pretty good progress done, probably at this point is full regress now with the Ruin. Nice down on Zeno, so Zeno going on his second hook as well, and you know, Fingergun's still coming out swinging and doing a really good job. That is 2 death hooks. Unfortunately, doesn't have anything to super deal with the late game pressure, so we'll see what happens towards the end here, but it's looking pretty good for Oracle. Last a totem being destroyed, so no perks available. Messes up his blink out of the basement, unfortunately eats a stun, and I mean, this is not the time you want to be wasting in the basement there. Thankfully for him, none of them on generators at this point in time.
Aaron going to be getting healed here by Zongo. Zongo will go receive a heal. Just the reset on the other side of the map whilst Nigel sits around. Zeno sitting on his second hook in the basement. Will be pretty tricky to get him off this. Where's that final generator, I wonder? One's in the... oh, they're all right next to each other. So he has a 3-gen stack on top of the basement. And can come over here, kick this generator, make sure that it starts its regression. We are going to see Nigel now making his way over towards the shack to try and get Xeno off the hook. There it is, down. Oh, but he misses the second blink. That's going to be the unhook coming down, I think, just in time. No, the grab!
He gets the grab!
He gets the grab! It's going to be a second hook from the basement. I don't think that's Xeno is going to get rescued from here. He can just sit at the top of the basement stairs and block an entrance, prevent the survivors from coming in. That's exactly what he's going to do. Try and prevent the survivors coming in and make sure that Zeno dies, and Zeno will die. On his second hook here, Agony finding a turnaround that they needed in this game. 1 down, 3 to go for Agony's killer. Doesn't want to allow Bugs to be the reason that his team is knocked out of this tournament. He wants to push them through and prove that they're the best of the best, the best, the best here. That's Zeno on the floor. Nigel now hooked in the basement. Zongo holding out in the T-wall, L-wall, and Aaron working this generator. It looks like Zongo has been spotted, which means that Aaron now has to hop off that generator and come for the rescue. We'll see exactly when he decides to do that. If the debate happens, if you just go straight to the shack basement now, knowing that Zongo is engaged fully in a chase, try and prevent the unhook, or if you just go and chase down Zongo knowing he is dead on hook, it looks like that's exactly what they want to do. Try and play this corner out. Fingergun's going to work the wall here with the blinks, try and find the hit. Can he get on the second? The distance has been made, and that is going to be that happening. And meanwhile, they're very happy to leave Nigel on this hook, knowing that Aaron is on this generator, and if they can get the outs, then they can up the points potentially here. All the generators and the escapes. That's Nigel taking his first hit. It's all to play for here between Agony and Oracle, really running it down here in the final of this series. Zongo doing his best to find the moves necessary to prevent the death hook happening here on the corner of the map, and Fingerguns is struggling. Generator has been complete. No adrenaline though for Zongo. Nigel with a camaraderie activated, meaning that Aaron is now dipping into the basement to get him off of this hook, and Oracle are looking to try and make a 3-man escape a possibility.
This was his game to win. All he had to do was stay near the basement there, and it was GG. But unfortunately, Zongao just giving him the slip, and he was not able to catch Zongao there. So this is the potential for him to lose this entire match. I don't know why he committed so heavily on Zongao. Maybe just thinking, I can get him down, I can get him out of the match. But that ultimately might be the juke that wins them the entire match here. Unless he can get over, that is going to be the blink there, is going to get the down, and he should be able to get the kill here. He is probably going to try for the tap, and that actually might be enough. Oh my God!
That is Zongao picked up on the edge of his seat, goes down, and 19 to 21. This kill here, I think, should be enough for Agony to be able to push it over. That's the hook happening. Up to, more points. Oh, the hit on the hook. He's angry. They are angry in agony of how this series has played out, but they have found the victory once more here, Hexy, and we are going to the final game of this series.
Yeah, incredible. I'm really happy to see Finger Guns able to push that. I feel as though they were deserving of the win, even in that first match with the bugs coming out. I kind of felt like they should have had it, but it was a game-breaking bug. You know, they might have had a potential to swing it. We have seen them swing it in past matches, but Finger Guns ain't messing around. He did have some misplays there. I don't know if it is getting late in Europe there, right? It's like 1 a.m. So maybe just being up.
Some of these players live it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Hexy. Like, it is getting late.
Oh man, so it is super late for them. That might have just been him being tired there, because his blinks have been so good early on, and he just really struggled with Zongao there, which realistically almost caught him the match, but narrowly was able to catch him right at the exit gate, and that will swing it in their favor. I mean, if they would have got that, that would have been their game to win, but unfortunately they didn't, and now Agony going to tie it up, and we will be going the full distance. Whoever wins this next match will be crowned the winner, but we do have to go through one more killer game, one more survivor game for each of these teams, so
they have to prove it that they're capable of doing so in this third matchup here. Azeroth's resting place, Finger Guns taking it one more time to the killer roll on the Pyramid Head, and we'll see exactly what he's able to do on this pick here. Azeroth's resting place, the final map of this tournament between Oracle and Agony. These teams are tied 1 apiece, but only one can win the series. Only one can win the tournament. Only one can be crowned best of the best. Roll the game.
Let's do it. Let's jump in this. Get this in here. Get us in here. Here we go. Heck yeah. All right. So obviously we're seeing the corrupt intervention. We saw the Noed. I didn't quite catch what the other two perks were. There's the prove thyself, detective's hunch, camaraderie. You know, pretty much what we've seen with these survivors and their killer gameplay. For the most part, they've been running pretty much the same build throughout the entirety of this. So he does have the Pop Goes the Weasel and the Ruin, so choosing to go with that kind of meta build that we've been seeing with the Corrupt, Ruin, Pop, and then having the Noed for the end game. Gonna spot Xeno fairly early on and does go for the flick, but this time it connects. Finger Guns ready to get
through the Sprint Burst as well.
Yeah.
Sprint Burst coming through. Wasn't enough life going to be utilized, but into the Torment Trail pre-set up earlier. Shack's side going to be the place of contest, and look at these trails set up all around. Finger Guns has got it all set up for him. Oh my lord, another dodge coming through. That is incredible gameplay from Xeno here, and Finger Guns just struggling to find the judgments of the dam to connect.
Yeah, that was pretty much should have been a free hit there for him, because he hesitated back. He could have just canceled it and then just smacked him right there, and that would have been a done deal. But and you're seeing it again. He's going for these flicks and he's not quite connecting them, and this might be the difference. If Aaron can play a Pyramid Head and just goes for the consistent smacks, not really focusing too much on the flashy flicks, it might spell a bit of a better match, because you're seeing every single time he's doing these flicks, he's wasting so much time. Another whiff flick coming out, and this is really, really bad. Xeno doing an incredible job with these jukes on the LT wall here is going to be the flick, and that one should connect. He got stuck on the window there a little bit too long, but, you know, super good jukes from Zeno. Should have been caught at the shack there and probably gave his team almost dang near 30 more seconds in that chase. So we might see one, if not two more generators pop here. So first hook coming out too, and only the one gen. Yep, so there goes the one, and I would assume we're going to see the other one pop somewhat soon as well. Going to go ahead and put the Torment all over the ground there, trying to get it onto people. He does have Zeno with the Torment on him, so if he comes off the hook, and yeah, there's that generator. So much different pacing coming in from Oracle this match as far as this goes. If he does get saved, if Zeno does get saved, if he's nearby, he can down him there. Now, the nice thing about this match this map is it's basically shaped like an H, right? And if he can get a 3-gen on one of the sides, he can almost completely ignore the other side. And that seems to be kind of what is going on here. I haven't fully been able to see because the pyramid killer, yeah, we just see the pyramid head. It's hard to see if he has a 3-gen on that side. I would...
Trying to avoid the possibility that decisive strike does impact him here. He's just going to have to take the stun here. There's nothing you can do. That's why you sit in the locker versus the pyramid head when Tormentreo is active. There's the decisive strike coming out. Xeno with life will go straight for the window, get the distance necessary to get away from this one. It does seem like there is a 3-gen setup around here. Medkit available.
That looks to be the case.
Up here.
They are noticing that he has the 3-gen there, and that's why they seem to be trying to tackle the generator on that side. Sorry for stepping on your feet there, Dowsy. We've been going a very long time. I think we're both a little bit tired here. But yeah, the show must go on. But I really like those jukes from Zeno. I think he's doing a super sick job as far as like his jukes and really setting his team up to possibly win this entire thing just because of those jukes alone and how consistent and how fast they're pumping these gens.
As the blind potential coming through, forcing the killer to look away for half second, and the line of sight broken. You see all the generators around the shack side of the map. Aaron's tackling one on the other side of the hill here, and if this generator goes, then I think that is it. Zeno there as well. They're going to hop off it. They're going to stick to it. They're going to try and stick it down. Can he complete it is the question. Aaron now forced off it. Is Zeno there as well? I think Zeno has already forced himself off, but Gun's going to go back to the gen, make sure it doesn't get completed. Other side of the map. Nigel. Working a generator. Fingergun's chasing down Aaron here towards the window, dodging out, trying to prevent it. The grab does come through. The question is Zeno at the... Yeah, it is. He's at the generator. Generator gets popped on the other side of the map. I suspect we'll have a generator pop in the next 10 seconds. It's already there. And that is going to be another hook coming through. Only the second, though, of this game. Oracle looking to have a 4-man out with only 2 hooks against Fingergun's Pyramid Head.
Does still have the NOED active, so that's a big threat. But I mean, if they just go ahead and take 3 of them out and give them this extra point, that's like very minimal points. And it should be an easy win for the next game of Oracle to come in completely different. As you notice, when they're not playing the Spirit or the Nurse, it's almost just like a completely different killer, maybe not as practiced on the Pyramid Head here. I really feel like where Fingerguns went wrong is just doing as many flicks as he did. He really shouldn't have done flick after flick after flick like that, and he would have had much earlier pressure and then could have continued his aggression with his 3-gen stack on that side. But it looks like he wasn't able to hit the shots that he wanted to. Aaron going to sit on the hook and just deny him the 1 point on the possible wiggle. But yeah, just not a good situation for Agony to be in. Just that was arguably, I think, the worst match we've seen between these two teams.
That was the worst match that we have seen between those two teams. The highest score variance I think that we've seen between Oracle and Agony right there. And it is going to be a 16-3 result in favor of Oracle here.
Yeah, honestly, they need to be patting Zeno on the back. Zeno might have single-handedly got them that big dub there. It's just the crazy amount of time he spent chasing Xeno at the start there, and then didn't really seem to get his footing for a 3-gen stack, and they just boom, 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 gen after gen after gen. The pacing on this match was really fast for them, and it just was not able to keep up with the generator speed on the pyramid head there. Not as mobile, didn't really get the cages. This is the problem with Pyramid Head, right? Like, if he can't get the pressure, he falls really far behind. I almost feel like it would have been awesome to see Finger Guns bring out the Hillbilly again. We saw how insanely dominant he was bringing that out versus the Gentleman earlier, and I almost feel like just having that mobility in the one shot would have been better. But, you know, meta tells these teams, run Executioner, run Pyramid Head, and that's what he chose to do. And unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out for him. Like I think he was planning to.
Yeah, I mean, the Pyramid Head has been consistently the place that Agony and Oracle separated. The survivors on Agony, Oracle dealing with the Pyramid Head relatively well. They're taking so many chances necessary in the play to try and dodge out and extend chases, and Finger Guns just hasn't been executing the way that you need to on the Executioner. So it's a tough one for Agony going into this matchup on their survivor side. Now, Azeroth's resting place, not an easy map to play whatsoever, and if you're just able to find one single kill, then that's enough points to deny a victory here from Agony. That's what Oracle are looking to do, as Aaron will load onto the killer roll in just a little bit. What a tough day Agony has faced here, and I mean it's so unfortunate. You know, every match restart that has happened between these two teams, Agony have won these match restarts. They have beaten Oracle when they've been forced to do it again. They have shown time and time again on the Nurse and the Spirit specifically that they have what it takes to come through. And these bugs aren't, you know, the bugs that everyone has been facing. These are relatively uncommon bugs, some of them extremely rare that none of the other teams have had to face. You know, the decisive strike bug that we've seen throughout the tournament, it sucks. It really does that it exists currently in this update, but every team has had to deal with it on their killer side and on their survivor side. You know, the other bugs that have caused match restarts so far, not so much. So, you know, there's not much we can really do here other than roll it back. And when Agony has been forced to prove themselves, they've done so. They've won those match restarts. They've taken the victories here. But now they are kind of asked to do the unthinkable. They have to escape an Azeroth's resting place without losing a single survivor and without giving up more than 3 hooks.
Or I just don't see it happening. I feel like this is just going to be a sweep
and a kill.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. There's pretty much no way. Aaron is. I mean, you're not going to do that versus Aaron. You know, not. There's no way. He knows. Okay, I just need 1 hook, and then I can pretty much just do another hook, and I have 15K in the bag, which is a bit unfortunate. That after all these incredible matches we've had, it comes down to what should be a landslide. I mean, I guess we shouldn't count them out. They could potentially tie it. I really doubt they'll do more than tie it, but because, you know, if Aaron knows all he has to do is toss someone on the hook, he could literally just camp it out, and he ties it just on that alone. So definitely needs to do something. Actually, no, he wouldn't tie it because he would get the kill, and that would deny the points. Correct? All 4 of them got out. Or am I just delusional because I've been talking for so long? Right? All 4 of them got out. Correct? No, 1 died.
No,
now my brain's not working.
2 hooks. 2 hooks,
1
kill.
died. That's okay.
3 points.
Yeah. Okay, 2 hooks, 1 kill. Yeah. So exactly, we need to do that same exact thing again there. So I just don't see that happening. I feel like this should be a clean sweep for Oracle. Aaron knows what he needs to do, and now he just needs to achieve that.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. And I mean, you have to give props to all of the players. Oracle and Agony alike, they have slogged it out for hours on end here in the best of the best tournament to try and prove they are deserving of that. You know, it is asking a lot of the players to be constantly there. Finger Guns, I believe, has played every single game so far today that his team has been played in, over 20 matches so far. And the rest of the players alongside him on both Oracle and Agony have been here the entire day to try and determine who is the best of the best between them. if it weren't for all of the restarts and the bugs, then this would have been one of the most exciting, I think, grand finals and conclusions to a tournament that we've ever seen. Two of the most closely matched teams battling it out back to back to back, trying to prove that they are deserving of it. And it is now time to do just that. We are going to be rolling into the potential final match. I say potential because, you know, I want to believe in Agony and that they can bring this back. I know that most people probably want this to be done, but I'm an Agony fan. Casters aren't meant to be biased, but I'm an Agony fan after this. You know, the absolute resilience that team has shown. You know, that would be such an underdog story for them to come through this.
Yeah, I was really rooting for Oracle at the start. You know, I really like Aaron. I really like his slick plays. I feel like all their players on that team are really, really strong. So they've been awesome. But, you know, Agony has kind of won me over. I like that, you know, Oracle just sticks to what they know and they just do it. And this might be a restart, it looks like, possibly. Not quite sure what's happening. But, you know, Oracle sticks to what they know, and Agony is always kind of, it seems like they're kind of mixing it up a little bit. Not quite sure what's happening with this.
Yeah, we are restarting the match. It looks like something's gone wrong. On Agony, they were instantly stood still and have decided to, we're going to investigate, exactly what that is and what's forced this match restart here. I'm assuming if the survivors are spawning in and knowing that they need to restart immediately, then we've seen a lobby bug happen. And that will be the case here. Wrong build, wrong setup, and, you know, the survivors don't have any control over that. They have two of the same characters. Okay. So assuming lobby bug,
that would actually be a point deduction for them, correct?
Only
because
if
they
dealt it. If it was the lobby bug, and we have the screenshots of all the survivors selected, and, you know, can verify whether or not that's the case before we go into it. So yeah, I mean, we'll verify real quickly. The match will get restarted here, and we'll see exactly what does come through from this.
Yeah, I mean, it's so unfortunate. It feels like such a tragic end to this because it's been such good matches throughout, and then just bug after bug after bug, just really slamming us down. It's killing my momentum a little bit, and I'm sure it's killing a lot of the viewers' momentum. But I mean, this is just what the game is. Hopefully, the devs take notice, realize that there is people that really enjoy watching, you know, spectator games, fix their spectator cam, fix the game, get it in a way, maybe give us map seeds or give us a better ability to spectate the survivors and the killer by ping-ponging between the multiple ones. I know it's probably not at the top of the priority list, but it seems like this should be something that's just basic, right? Like it should just work. It's been bugged for so long. It doesn't really make sense. And the fact that, you know, it's really hurting the tournament quality just because of what we have to do to go through hoops and ladders to make it work is a bit unfortunate. And I want to apologize to all the viewers. It's really no one's fault. It's just the nature of this game, and it sucks. And I feel terrible for it. I feel like it's my fault, but, you know, it's no one's fault, really. It's just the game, and we're trying to do our best that we can.
No one's at fault here, Hexy. You know, Oracle are not at fault for the game not playing the way that we all expect it to play. You're not at fault for putting on this tournament here either. You know, this is just unfortunate that I guess the most recent update produced so many random things that are just not gone well. And yeah, we are in a position here. So.
Well, hopefully we'll be jumping in soon. I'm not quite sure why they can't just back out, get a new pick on the survivor, and just hop us right back into this. I'm a little bit confused as to why each of these matches have had such a long hangover. Like I said earlier, and I'm not trying to nitpick their builds, but they're not really changing much things up. So you'd figure it would just be rapid fire going to the matches, other than maybe somewhat changing their game plan or needing to take a little breather to recenter their heads. But there's really no variance. We're seeing the same thing time in and time out. So it is a little bit confusing as to what's going on. That should be a point deduction. It's looking like we're getting like they accidentally selected it and locked in. So if they get that point deduction, like I'm thinking might happen, there's no way that they win this at all. It's just going to be a wash and they will just lose the match. Really weird that they would do that at this point in the game, but I'll have to see what the refs give us back as far as that goes. Does that mean it just goes to Oracle winning this? That would be a pretty anticlimactic end for such a crazy series throughout the entire day. I mean, we've been going almost 8 hours with this tournament, and that just seems like such a buzzkill for the end of the best tournaments. But maybe it's just not in the cards. Maybe it just goes to show you that Dead by Daylight is not ready for this, and hopefully they can fix it. And I wanted to showcase something that was a lot of fun that people could watch and see people really duking it out and showing that there is high caliber players in this game. And as we saw, there definitely is, and people definitely want to watch it, but the game just might not be ready for it at this point in time.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky one. We will get confirmation from admin team here momentarily as to what is going to be the progression here through this one. We are going to be loading on in to this matchup here. Hexy, it is going to be played on out, waiting for a confirmation as to what the ruling is. I know that we've rushed the players to pick their builds as quickly as possible. We're just going to play the game out, and then the decision will be made after that. I guess if it is going to impact the final result, we'll talk about it. So I guess for Agony, they need to prove that if they hadn't made this mistake, that they can actually make it work for them. So it's just going to be rolling it with the score line that we did have originally and seeing what that is. So 16-3.
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think Aaron can just do this. He just needs a few points and he pretty much guarantees his team the victory. I'm assuming the admins will be going through their VODs and just verifying that it was a mistake or it wasn't a mistake or what exactly happened. We are having all the teams show us their builds and screenshot what they're doing before we load into the matches. So it's been a very long day. The players might have made a mistake. The admins might have made a mistake, but I don't know if it's really going to matter too much. I really expect Aaron to be able to close this out. Although Agony, has had incredible gen pressure throughout this. So, if there is a team to rise to the occasion, it's definitely going to be Agony to get this done. I mean, we've literally gone the distance back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on arguably what most people thought was going to be the fastest day of tournament play, and the entire thing turns out to actually be the longest day of tournament play. So it's been awesome. If you've been wanting to watch all these games, I've been really enjoying it. I really wish that the end kind of came with a little more variety on the killer picks, but it is expected that they're going to play what they know. They're going to play what they're best at. And here we go. First chase on Dr. Rock, already going to get a smack. And I think really what you're going to see is the difference between Aaron and finger guns on his pyramid head. Aaron not going to be throwing the flings nearly as much as finger guns. That actually was a really nice fling there, but unfortunately because of the distance, actually Dr. Rock was able to read that and move out of the way. So you see as Aaron drops his he drops that down pretty regularly, and then he continues moving, drops it down, keeps moving, and it keeps the survivor on their toes, right? So this is one down already. They do end up losing, he does end up losing a generator there, is running the Rancor, Ruin, and Noah. More than likely just assuming that if he can find his obsession at the end, he can earn his team that point, and that'll pretty much be the GG. So first hook going out, all he needs is 2 more hooks, or two more hooks and a kill, and he wins the entire thing for his team. But 2 generators down. I mean, this is looking pretty good. I can't quite tell if he has a 3-gen stack, unfortunately, with the pyramid head and his whole pyramid head blocking out the camera. It can be kind of hard to see what's going on there as far as what generators are available.
It is so unlikely that less than 3 generators spawned on Shack side. So on building side, where currently Dr. Rock is hooked. So we can see one there on Dr. Rock's camera just to the right as he watches his team attempt to cross the map to his side of the map. Aaron just separating it. And a second generator there shown on his screen as well. So you can assume there's a third somewhere. And I can actually see it, I think, off to the side here. So yeah, 3 generators on this side of the map, meaning that Aaron does have the 3-gen that he's been looking for. This is going to be a rescue with a urban evasion just to get over the trenches a little bit quicker. Dr. Rock does look like he gets rescued before that second stage does happen. Going to be dropped a med kit on top of the hill as well. But I suspect we are having our Pyramid Head immediately come back to the hook and try and contest a little bit more here. Looking for the zone on this pallet. Ryan going to attempt to try and make it work. And man, Aaron just so patient. Look at that. So patient, holding the right to judgment for its full duration there. Another generator completed here by Nightlight, but now they need to try and lock down building side. Dr. Rock on top of the hill is going to take some aggro away from his teammates and try and pull Aaron off to the other side of the map. But I don't even know how you tackle these generators, Hexy, knowing that Aaron is trying to lock down the tightest 3-gen that is possible. I mean, obviously the survivors can
keep healing.
Yep.
So they're definitely going to look to keep healing and resetting because, you know, Executioner is basically an M1 killer that has like a little fling to him. So if they can keep healing, it should set them up. So every single time you're going to see them get injured, they're probably going to run down the passage there and try to push the distance. But, you know, this is not looking too pretty for Aaron because even if he gets this hook and camps it, he could potentially still lose it, or it would be a tie. So he needs to get this hook and then get one more, and he guarantees his team the victory. But, you know, only 2 generators left. Big whiff there, complete misread. Is going to come around the corner and swings into that. Nothing connects, though. Finger Guns been giving the best jukes on Aaron throughout the entirety of the tournament, and looks like I'm super confused on this. He's giving up the 3-gen.
He's given up the 3-gen completely to try and chase down Finger Guns. It's almost personal here. Dead hard for distance to try and get to the pallet. Is going to be thrown down by Finger Guns, who then dodges out. Just another one. Does have Adrenaline. Keep that in mind, Hexy. Adrenaline in the back pocket for the killer of Agony here, and Agony can sense the potential for a sweep. The final generator has been completed.
No way.
Rainbow activated on the Adrenaline. How is it possible that in the most dire of situations, Agony are coming back into the series?
No way, Dowsy!
3 survivors out here, Hexy, then they will force a tiebreaker. But if Finger Guns can escape as well, then they will have the victory. The down comes through on the no one escape. And the Rankle, he's mooring him.
He's only gonna get. Oh no, he picked him up. Okay. Oh.
He's picked
it's
him up.
It's gonna be a tie.
I thought it may have been a Mori. That's a tie.
End me now, Dowsy. End me now. It's bedtime for me. I need to go eat. What the heck are these teams doing? Aaron! Get your crap together, man! This was your game to win. You literally knew what was in the cards, and unfortunately, they're going to reset it. And I feel like we should just make this super interesting and ban the Nurse and ban the Spirit. I know that's not part of the rules, but I would love to see it. Just ban them both. Make them play these weaker killers because it's clear as day. They cannot play any other killers than Nurse and Spirit. How? Only 2 kills, or sorry, 1 kill, but only 2 hooks there for both of these teams playing the Pyramid Head.
This is incredible scenes, Hexy.
This is the final match. There's nothing else that can happen here. Whoever scores the most points, if they tie again, will be dubbed the winner. But we do get to run it back one more time, where both of these teams are going to play as the killer and as the survivor.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Unless that point deduction is determined from Agony to actually take place where it was on the player's fault. If that was a player error, they do lose points for that. As we tell them time in and time again, if you make any mistakes with your items, perks, any of that sort of stuff, it is a point deduction. But I'm trying to see if we're going to get word on the from the admins. I don't know quite what happened there. Typically, our referees should be confirming that each of the teams, may had are going in with the correct survivors and perks and everything. So it might have been just a confusion there. It is getting late for everyone. I don't think anyone expected 8 hours of tournament play on what arguably could have been a 3-hour tournament, now turning into an 8-hour tournament. And we're going the distance, possibly one more time. We will see what happens momentarily.
Yeah, this is actually it. Admins are going to have to determine whether or not to deduct the points for rushing the players. And that's what's going to happen here. They're going to go to the booth and discuss exactly what happens. We are going to hear what the admins have decided is fair here. And once we get word on this, I guess we'll discover what is going to happen. So
yeah, hopefully they don't take too long deciding. It has been a long one. I'm sure everyone is exhausted. Even the viewers are probably exhausted. I guess we see. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. This is why we have referees, so it's not biased from us, like clouding the judgment of anything. Yeah. And we have them kind of the shots. I don't want to, play favoritism towards everything. I do feel a tiebreaker should go down. This is it. We run it through 2 more matches, and then we're done with the whole thing. There's pretty much nothing else that can go wrong. Hopefully, next thing I know, we're going to have 10 bugs come in, and we're going to be here until 5 o'clock in the morning my time. You guys will be up for 24 hours. It'll be the 24-hour best of the best Dead by Daylight tournament at this rate.
No, I mean, no one wants that. So the way that a tiebreaker works, Hexy, just since it is in the possibility in the cards here, the 2 teams will have their killer pools open up back again to them, which is good for them because the Pyramid Head will be the only killer they're not able to utilize. They can pick Spirit or they can pick Nurse, which is the 2 killers that these guys have shown the most proficiency on throughout this entire tournament. And if they cannot separate themselves via points on a scoreboard, then we'll just take the 2 scores of the blood point scores of the killers, add them up, and that will determine who is the winner.
Okay, so it does seem like we are going to go to the tiebreaker, is what I am assuming. Originally, I was very much Team Oracle. I was really wanting Team Oracle to win, but as these games played out, I just feel as though Agony just seems to adjust their play style a lot more and really rise to the occasion. It's noticeable tenfold that they are just pushing and pushing and pushing. But unfortunately, Finger Gun's just having a really, really rough match on the Pyramid Head there, which is not really typical from what we've seen throughout the entirety of the day. And, it just goes to show you, and I don't know if either of the killers have as much practice on the Pyramid Head as they do on this Spirit or Nurse. And I'm a little bit surprised that Finger Guns wouldn't pick a Hillbilly. Like, seriously. Having that many hours on Hillbilly, being known as one of the best Hillbillies in the world, the nerf is significant, but I still feel like he would have performed better on, just because he's had so many hours on that killer. And we saw it earlier versus the gentleman, how well he did. I feel like he would have performed much better on that killer versus the meta Pyramid Head pick. It's just night and day.
Night and day, like you're saying, Hexy. The difference between the Nurse Spirit and the Pyramid Head. One of the newest killers to the roster, obviously. We've just had the Blight release, not available for this tournament. And you expect that a lot of these players who've been playing almost since day one, some of them, just having the experience when it comes to the killers that have been in the game for longer.
So typical stealth play. We are running it back on the same map. This is what happens on a tiebreaker match, and just something to keep in mind, if they tie again, we will just go to blood points here off the Pyramid Head match and this next match, which was the nurse for Aaron, and we will see for finger guns later. So not really where you want to go as far as blood points coming down to it. I would feel very frustrated allowing blood points to determine by victory in a tournament, but we do have to keep things moving. So you know,
I think all four of them have actually perfectly stealthed off Aaron on Azeroth's rest place. All four of them spawned on building side, which is very rare, by the way. All four of them spawned on shack side. And Aaron goes, well, I thought I searched everything. I thought I searched absolutely everything. I'm going to commit to the building side and see if they're stealthy and corrupt, and they're not. All four survivors are on the shack side here. Agony have absolutely bamboozled Oracle's killer. And Aaron's still clueless as to where Agony can be. In a second time, a generator is going to complete, and he's going to know. He's going to know what's happened to him. But Nightlight is there. Nightlight is on the building side. He was in the basement there. So
oh
there
my
is one
god,
survivor.
dude!
They did.
Look at what Agony's doing. They're not finishing the generator because they realize that Aaron is on the complete opposite side of the map, guarding, basically ping-ponging between his corrupt intervention totems, thinking that they're stealthing around there, and he's actually going to lose 2 generators and get nothing off of it, and now is down corrupt intervention and 2 gens. Now the nice thing is he still has a 3-gen stack on one side, but that is incredibly bad. It's almost like a completely different Aaron that we're seeing in these later matches, probably just sheer tiredness of how long today has been going. That is a super nice juke on Ryan's part, but isn't quite good enough. Aaron gonna get the down there, and that will be the first hook, but 2 generators down, corrupt intervention gone, and 1 hook. Not really where you want to be, but he does have a 3-gen stack on this side. Looks like they realize that, and he's trying to shove the generator off to the corner. Aaron going to be blinking over there. Just really good reads and really good plays coming in from Agony. I really, really, really like this. I love the fact that they hesitated that generator on that far side and kind of just sat there and pretty much got the other generator prepped and primed and ready to rock and roll too. So Ryan coming off, Aaron going to spot him there. I believe Ryan is the D-Strike user unless they switch that up.
He's going to look to try
and Nurse also not a bugged killer, so...
Right. Yeah. Doesn't have the 2-second DS stuns like your Spirit does, so full value potential coming out of Decisive Strike. If Aaron can... if Ryan can utilize it, I guess we'll find out in just a second if he does have that perk. Assume that there are 3 generators on this side, maybe even 4, that were protected by the corrupt intervention on building side, but that's one of them gone. Potentially. Nope, that is going to be the generator on the far side of the map. There is still 3 gens here, but that is another pop. Rancor showcasing the 2 survivors that worked it down. A 3-gen is available now to Aaron, and he's going to have to really work hard if he's going to be able to get any more points in this match here.
This is not looking good at all. It's almost like we're seeing a different Aaron from how dominant we've seen him in a lot of these matches. It's definitely a little unfortunate because this is the second hook for Ryan. Obviously, with the Deliverance, they're not going to be able to gain any advantage with that, but he does proc the Rancor. So even if he goes ahead and gets down Ryan and gains the value off the Rancor, it's not really who you want that on, right? You want that on someone else, possibly, if he dies here, that is.
They're going to have to try and tackle 3 separate generators here and force as much pressure as possible. That's Ryan coming off the hook, and I suspect that Aaron's going to go straight back to that hill to try and find the kill onto him. Dr. Rock on this generator in the center of the map. Almost over halfway. Hit onto Nightlight there. Where's Ryan? Where's Ryan hiding? We can see Nightlight grouping up on a generator. Ryan's still back there behind a tree. This is going to be the generator completed. Sprint Burst to try and get him to the corner of the map to just try and win some time.
They should get a generator off of this. All 3 of them on. There it goes.
So the question is, can Oracle's killer find any more in this match? Is there any more points to be had for Aaron on the Nurse on the Azeroth's resting place? Ryan bids us farewell. 3 points, 4 points awarded, I suppose, for that. And there is the No One Escapes Death available now. Agony going to have to play that stealth game once more It seems like all 3 survivors did cross the map over towards Shack's side here to try and tackle the Shack side Exegate. Aaron's trying to search for them.
Does seem
Dr. Rock hiding behind the Shack.
Does seem to be the case. So we do have the 3 hooks and a kill on Ryan, so 4 points in total. He does have the NOED active, but, you know, if they can get 2 of them out and only lose 1 person, it's not really too bad for them. You know, typically this map tends to be pretty killer-sided just with the sheer 3-stack and 4-stack with the gens that you can do, and
about to get
nothing really happening of it.
I don't know. I mean, he may have switched up his locker here, position in the center of the map. If he has, then that will reset the crows, but I'm not entirely sure if he has. He just hopped out a bit next to Aaron. Aaron seems to be on the money here. That Agony must be on this side of the map, and it is going to be Nightlight. Yeah, there's the crow, the AFK crow on the locker.
There's the crow,
revealing Nightlight's location. And he is now going to have to run for his life and try and deny as much time. But there's the down. It comes through. Can Aaron prevent the exit gate from being open? Does he even try to prevent the exit gate from being open? More points available, potentially, if he can do so. More points for hooks, more points for even a kill. He's trying to blink through. He's trying to find the small points. Can he do so onto Finger Guns?
Oh, no!
Find the down! And now he's going to force Dr. Rock out of this exit gate and make sure that this is going to be a 3K on the Azeroth's resting place. Unless there's an Unbreakable on Nightlight or a hatch available. Unless there's a Deliverance available. There isn't.
No Unbreakable. So he might just try to crawl around and deny the slug and just see if he can avoid getting caught there, because I doubt he'll be able to crawl out. Aaron going to know roughly where he is, and this is really, really unfortunate after an extremely dominant play throughout this. And it looks like was Finger Guns trying to wiggle himself off? This seems kind of risky because he could reward him another point if he actually does wiggle off. But maybe because he's so close to the oh my god! He gets the 4% off and he has D-Strike!
This man has played every match so far. He has D-Strike. All he has to do is get close to the exit gate and he will be able to potentially escape here. He is running for his life, absolutely gunning it for the exit gate. Aaron trying to prevent him with the blinks, and the down will come through. He now has to crawl all the way. Aaron's just going to pick him up immediately. He doesn't believe Decisive Strike is available, but there it is. The Decisive Strike on Finger Guns comes through.
I think he gets a blink. He gets 1 chance at a blink, but he gets it. Oh my god, the 4% wiggle off! And Nightlight gonna hide in a corner is what it looks like. Now, can Aaron remember exactly where Nightlight is gone? I don't even know where the heck he's crawled to. If he can sit here for 2 minutes, bleed out on the ground, he will deny Aaron potential 2 points. Obviously not going to get out himself, but I mean, that's pretty much as good as it gets. The fact that Finger Guns was able to get the 4% wiggle off into the D-Strike. I guess a good thing is Nurse not bugged with the D-Strike bug, which would change it to a 2-second stun. It was a full 5-second stun, and Finger Guns able to get enough distance on that. It does look like Aaron is blinking around, thinking that maybe he is going to be in the corner, and does end up spotting it.
Oh my goodness.
So another 2 points. It's going to be a 7 to 14. Wow, the hatch actually was right there. He might have been able to find that.
Yeah, that's possible. That could have been the 3-man out. But Agony here, as it works out, it's going to be a 2-man. This is an extremely close match here.
This might tie again, and then we're going to blood point. Which I think neither team's going to be happy with. But hey, you should win convincingly. So I'm assuming Finger Guns is going to look to do that in this tiebreaker round. It would be the points from the Pyramid Head and their newest killer that they just played. So refs, make sure you're paying attention to the blood points here so we can crown a winner right after this. But, you know, hopefully Finger Guns can come in with a dominant killer, and we'll see what happens with that. And will he take it, or will he just struggle to get the kills, and Oracle will be able to get the 1-up on Agony and just kind of slam him to the side? They've been having some wishy-washy survivor plays, sometimes just so incredibly dominant, and other times it's like really super slow, and it's a little confusing sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, This is this is just unreal. I don't know where this is going, Hexy. But what I do know is that finger guns. The game wants him to win. The game wants him to win. The 4% chance coming through onto finger guns to get on out of it. Yeah, this is,
now can he just bring out his killer and get the dub under his belt, bringing out his killer game?
Yeah, I don't know, Hexy. Maybe this is the sleep deprivation setting in here. Finger Guns is going to rescue us. It is the final game of the tournament in a very different start. Behind Zongao immediately in this, and the rest of Oracle now going to scramble to try and get onto the generators. And Nigel running behind as well to try and separate off the corrupted side of the map, I believe, or maybe not. It's going to be Aaron now targeted here immediately. This is game number 24 for Agony. Game number 24 for Finger Guns on the killer roll, trying to push Agony into number one. Number one is what Agony want. Oracle doing their best to body block for Aaron and provide an extra hit on this corrupted side of the map, a side that they really do not want to be on. Finger Guns trying to find it.
This is kind of good
body
too.
Good.
With two of them over there, that's two people not on generators, where they should have three people on gens somewhat early on, and he gets a hit there. And then Aaron going down just momentarily later. I feel like Zeno's spending the time and sitting on a generator, but that might be something to do with their perks. Maybe he wanted to be the one in the chase and not have Aaron in the chase there. I didn't quite fully get to see what their builds were, but we do have the Rancor, we do have the Noed, Pop goes the Weasel, and the Corrupt Intervention. Corrupt Intervention always really good on this map too, because it usually just shuts down one side.
The first gen completed. The Rancor coming through here. The Finger Guns to see how many survivors are on the opposite sides of the map. I think Rancor potentially a good choice actually on this specific map here, Hexy, just due to its split. And he spotted scratch marks, I assume, if he's going in. Yeah, he has. That's going to be the unhook coming through. That's going to be a hit onto Zeno, taking the body block for Aaron one more time. A hit onto Zongao, Shack Pallet thrown. Where's Nigel? Surely working on the generators.
Finger Guns is not playing around. They had to commit so much to get him out of the basement there, and they are just on the back foot big time. If they can re-get their footing, though, they're still decent. They'll still have a decent chance, but I'm assuming Finger Guns has a 3-gen stack on this side of the map and the basement on this side of the map, too. So really dangerous to be dealing with that. Doesn't get Zongao into the basement there, but, you know, a quick hook. And I do agree, the Rancor on this map, I think, will give them a little bit more value because, you know, it's basically kind of like a split map for the most part. You have one side, you have the other side. And this is what I was a little bit surprised we haven't seen up until maybe right now, where the killer kind of just guards their side of the map. He's actually extending over. Seems a little bit dangerous. Like I would like to see, like, you know, just stay on your side and kind of hold that down, but he extends over, running the risk of potentially losing his 3-gen stack again. And Zongao with the deliverance off the hook now going to be running wild, so they don't even have to commit any players over there. Really well recovered on Oracle's part, committing them, getting them out of the basement. I really like that play and adaption. So getting them back in this match, still very much anyone's game, Dowsy.
Zeno will go down here. That generator almost done on the other side of the map. Going to see if we can find any more pressure for Finger Guns, I suppose. Oracle are determined to get these generators done and get out alive versus the nurse on Azrael's Trust in place, forcing off another generator. Pop goes a Weasel in the pocket. 25% regressions possible. Finger Guns has to pull the trigger on that generator, and he's chasing Nigel currently. Hits Nigel, knocks him away. Where's the 3-stack that he's looking for? Is there one? Nigel going through the window, slow, medium volt actually. In the end, gains a lot of distance off the life as well.
He did have a 3-gen earlier on in the match. I'm not quite sure if he does any longer. We'd have to get vision on him to really see. Zongao going down. No D-strike available. So Is going to be pretty good. I believe the minute had passed regardless, and that'll be another gen popping and another gen almost done. So this is very much going to be a nail-biting experience down to the wire. I actually don't know how to call this, Dowsy. This is the match we want for the finals, right? Like, this could go any which way. Finger Guns keeping it super close, really good pressure, keeping about the same pressure that Aaron had in his nurse match. Doesn't look like either team really going for a 3-gen stack. Getting that pallet out of the way. It looks like he still has a 3-gen stacks on this side. If you notice, it still has a 3-gen stack. Yeah.
But is that generator all the way down to the end? Got any progress on it? That's the question. I don't know if he went there. I'm fading Hexy.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I can kind of take the wheel a little bit. No, all 3 of these generators on this side are pretty much full regress. I'm not quite sure on the far side there, but at this point, he probably just gives 0 craps about that. He should just stay here contested. This is what I like to see. So Finger Guns being well aware he has a 3-gen stack. It does look like they will finish that. So they are committing someone, and they pretty much either have to commit... Well, they pretty much have to commit 2 people to this save. Otherwise, Zongao will be knocked out of this completely. And it looks like Nigel's on his way. There is going to be a quick gen tap there. He does not have the borrowed time. So the fact that there's no borrowed time enabled pretty much will just allow him to just get the down there. And there's, like I said, Zeno coming in, getting the smack. Tries to blink onto Zongao. Unfortunately, hesitates that. I really like that they're right on the generator there, trying to force it, realizing that he has a 3-gen stack, and this could potentially be the win if he goes for the pickup on Zongao. I don't think he knows if he has D-Strike or not, so it could be a little bit of a coin toss there. Going after Zeno, though, with the double slug, and you do see, I believe that's Aaron over there, Nigel, still working on the generator, so it is good that he's pushing the gen, but this is the downside. This is why I am so surprised at how these killer matches went down earlier, because look at what you're seeing. The 3-gen stack with the hook on that side just gives the killer so much pressure. Pop goes the Weasel in the build. Boom. Regress at 25%. Zeno still on the ground. Looks like Aaron is trying to force the generator. And this is pretty much Agony's game to win. If Finger Guns can keep it together, keep himself composed, it should be his dub in the bag here. This is the second hook for Zeno. Not looking very good. They pretty much need to get this generator down and get them all out of here. Otherwise, it will be going to Team Agony after such a crazy fought victory. But I don't want to dub them out yet. Nigel going to be going on the hook. This is his first hook, so this is actually a good trade for him too. Yeah, so he will be able to...
as well, if necessary. Currently, Aaron working on the generator in the corner. They're trying to keep the killer as close to these hooks as possible and prevent the Pop Goes the Weasel from impacting the generators whatsoever. But the blinks are happening and Aaron's running. Is he in chase? I assume he has to be. There's no way he's not, right? No, he seems to be okay right now. He was threatened.
Like Pop Goes the Weasel.
That's definite. The generator did get Pop Goes the Weasel. You're right. These survivors trying to scramble around Shaq's side of the map, trying to get themselves distance, and a full reset is well and truly necessary. But at this stage, Nigel now under pressure, under fire, on the wall, gonna get... Oh, the swing misses somehow. Nigel gets the distance necessary in this chase. That's going to be now, I think, Zeno being chased off of the generator here, trying to hide line of sight behind the truck, just perfectly blocking on that one. Where's Zeno gone? He's on the wall. He goes everywhere. Zeno going for a walk versus Finger Guns Nurse, but this time Zeno will fall on the floor, and this is his death hook here. I think with this death hook here, Hexy, that will be the points awarded to Agony, and that should be enough points to secure them the win here.
That's it. I mean, honestly, Oracle played that almost exactly how they needed to, trying to force the generator, but this is the downside of this map. The killer can just let those gens go on the far side, and I'm surprised we didn't see that through the series of these 4 times being played on this map until this time around, and you see just how ridiculously strong it is. 1 person on the hook, 3 generators nearby, you just ping pong around. If you're not getting heals and you're dealing with a killer like Nurse, it's pretty much a done deal, and it looks like Nigel Nigel, just realizing that it is his demise. They might finish this generator, but I don't really, it's not going to be enough no matter what. Even if they go ahead and pop this and get both of them out, it will not matter. It will not be enough. There goes the hook on Nigel. I wonder if Aaron will try to do a door. It looks like he's running to the opposite side, maybe looking for a hatch, but I believe these doors are side by side, correct? I think there's one off to the side there and one there. Yeah, so they're both on the same side, which is not what you want to see. So yeah, Aaron going to be looking for the hatch, actually ends up finding it. So a little bit of luck there, but it is not going to be enough. And Agony going to take the victory versus Oracle in this back and forth gameplay, a tiebreaker match, but Finger Guns pulls it out for his team. The survivors played insane on both of these squads, but Agony taking the victory 19-26 in favor of Agony.
What a fantastic performance that both these teams exhibited here. In the best of the best tournament, Hexy, both of these teams fighting tooth and nail, back and forth, never say die, dead by daylight. Agony with Finger Guns on the killer roll, 24 games played in one day to push them into a second grand final, to push them to a tiebreaker scenario, to push them into the winner's position. Grand finalists, put it up. It's Agony, your best of the best Dead by Daylight team.
Congratulations, Agony. I mean, you guys deserve it 110%. Oracle, you guys are insane at Survivor and insane at Killer. Unfortunately, this back and forth, it favored Agony. So they did battle it out. They did prove themselves too, because they had to knock Oracle down into losers bracket. So, you know, overall in this back and forth between these two teams, they did end up winning more. But as you saw earlier, you know, Oracle sent Agony down to fight the gentleman into the losers bracket, and then Agony right back into here. And, you know, you'd be surprised that there was only 3 teams playing today with how long these finals were. We might have to go back to the drawing board on a best of 3 idea, but you know, hey, it's growing pains. It was a pleasure to watch all these teams battle it out. A lot of nurse and a lot of spirit here. So I guess if you're trying to learn some nurse and learn some spirit, watch through these VODs, as these are the best nurse and spirit this game has to offer. But here we go. That's it. Dowsy, how you feeling on this, man? We made it. We did it. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all the players involved. What a hard-fought victory for Agony. And I think everyone here witnessed them time and time again, putting up such a huge performance, putting up such huge performances time and time again to push their team forward. It is actually nothing short of incredible. That between both these teams, completely inseparable after playing 24 games back to back to back. For Finger Guns, that this team is still awake and pushing themselves forward. I mean, this tournament has had so many ups and downs, upsets, and you know, moments that just make you go, holy crap. But we have done it, Hexy. We have crowned a best of the best team. Agony, take it home.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And I just want to take a second to thank you, Dowsy, for being a part of this. Been awesome. Thanks to all the moderators, making sure everything's run smooth. Thank you to Status Effect for all the production. They did all of this and made it just look really badass. Thank you to you, the viewers, for tuning in and allowing us to do this. It was surely a blast. I hope you guys had some fun watching it. I hope you guys got a pizza and just can talk about this for a while now, whether it was just some of the awkward bugs and dang, how unfortunate, or oh my God, these plays were absolutely insane. And I hope that's what you kind of focus on, because these players are insane and they deserve as much praise. It has been an absolute honor to cast all of their games today, and I am just pleased they allowed me to do that. Man, Agony, I can't give it up. Like they played so well. I really like them adapting their plays. We say it time in and time out. They deserve this win. Well played.
Yeah, I think both these teams, if they took it home, well deserved after the amount of matches that we saw here between them. But one team had to win in the end. One team had to win in the end, and the Agony are going to be the team, Hexy. This was your tournament that you decided to throw together because you thought, hey, that would be fun. And we've seen some of the most wild Dead by Daylight play here between the top players and top killers and top survivors. Absolute highlight reels can be made of this tournament. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it here with you. I'm going to leave it to you to give us the closing words and sign this one off, Hexy.
I mean, what else can I say? I was exhausted. Again, we went into this just thinking it was going to be something fun. I didn't really expect it to be as big as it was. I didn't expect as many people to want to tune in as they have. And it just shows that there is an interest in, a competitive scene in Dead by Daylight where these teams are battling it out. People like watching people complete at the highest skill level available. And I was really glad we were able to bring some attention to that. Hopefully the devs take some note on this, that people enjoy watching this, that people enjoy doing this, and they can at the very least, fix the Kill Your Friends lobbies, maybe give us a little bit better spectator. But, it was something fun. I'm really glad we did it. Some growing pains along the way. We've never really done something like this before. There's some things, if we were to ever do it in the future, we would probably definitely adjust. But, it comes with comes with the terms of doing something like this. But I just feel like the matches have been so good. What a great way to end it on a tiebreaker match. I just love that. Again, for the closing words, I just want to thank you, Dowsy, again, carrying the first day when I've been battling the vertigo, had an intense vertigo fit, so I was unable to make it. Thankfully, I made it these 2 other days. But please make sure you go follow Dowsy, follow his channel, go over there real quick, go to his Twitch channel, just slap the follow and tune on in when he is online. Seriously, you will not regret it. Definitely recommend that. I have to give a shout out to all my mods and admins. Without them, this tournament would not be as big as it is. They are literally the backbone of this tournament. Thank you very much, mods and admins. You guys held it down. They were the reason everything went smooth for the most part, minus the bugs. That's why we were able to jump into these games. They had to round out all of these teams and get them all together. They were the ones updating all the stuff. Thank you again, John Wilson, for doing the stats for us. If you want to see the stats after these match, exclamation point stats in the chat there. And a big up to Status Effect, who did all our overlays, all the transition, all the production. They did a phenomenal job. I'm really happy with how that turned out, from our hooks in the corner there, just making it really easy to follow, and the points up above. I just really loved everything about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute honor to do this. And thank you for allowing me to do this, everyone out there in the world. Until next time, that's pretty much it, baby. What a great end to this. That's all I can really say. I'll see you all around. Follow this man, and just hearts in the chat all around. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace, everyone.